Good evening, race fans, and welcome to another fantastic Sim Racing Network coverage of the Sim 500 series. Tonight's Monday Night Series. I'm sorry, no, it's the Transervice Cup series here on Monday nights. Welcome to Kentucky Speedway. Tonight with me in the booth is Gael Brooks. How you doing, Gael?
I'm doing well. Glad to be here. How are you doing tonight, sir?
I am fan effing tasked, to be honest with you. It's been a great day, great weekend. I survived that so-called Hurricane Barry. Although I will say this, that there are a lot of people down here in South Louisiana, South Central Louisiana especially, that have gotten a lot of flooding. I saw that today when I was out doing my job. So I want to just throw out a quick thought and prayer for those folks out there that are dealing with flooding and hurricane damage. We're thinking about you. Kentucky Speedway, Gael. I like to think of Kentucky as a kind of a Chicago layout. Really, it's very similar to Chicago, to me anyway.
Yeah, it does have some of those characteristics. It's a little on the maybe on the bumpier side with this one, but yeah, I could definitely see that as well. So it's definitely one that's going to be, I think, a handful for these guys. I'm not sure exactly how the setup was, but based on what I felt like I drove on Sunday, might be a little bit on the tighter side for these guys. So they're going to have to try to keep that right front under them.
Yeah, I have been talking to some drivers during pre-race, and it is a bit more snug than the open setup races were. I've done a few of those this week, had a victory in one of them, as a matter of fact, but it's all open setup. The fuel mileage is about the same, though. They're looking at anywhere between 52 and 58 laps on a tank of fuel, depending on how aggressive you are. Tires, we had some two-tire stops in the A Open races. I don't know if that's going to be feasible tonight with this fix setup being just a bit snugger, but we're going to find out. Now, folks, this is the Transervice Cup Series provided by Transervice. These folks have stepped up and really given a great purse package to the Sim 500 group here. We're going to go over that real quick. The 2019 purse, the champion is going to get $350, Gael. That's a hell of a chunk of change right there. Second place gets 200. Third place gets 150. Fourth gets 100. Fifth gets 65. Sixth gets $50. Seventh is 45, and eight is $40. So the top eight all come away with some cash. That's not a bad deal, man.
No, that's really nice. That's really awesome of Transervice to put that on there for everybody. So you've seen those ones here and there where it's like the winner gets something, but then everybody else is kind of left wanting. So I really like the way they've done that. I say because you got so many good drivers here, it's hard to be able to be that top one. So that's a really cool deal that Transervice has put it on here.
You're right. It's a very cool deal. But wait, there's more. I've always wanted to say that. So the English Auto Dash for Cash is another incentive that's been put up here in the Cup Series. A guy by the name of Shane Ewing, who actually drives in this series, put this up with English Auto Dash for Cash. 8 drivers are in the running for Johnson. All these guys are in the running for the Dash for Cash. I believe top prize is like $40. I can't remember off the top of my head. And Joey, if you're watching this later on, I am sorry for not being able to remember that off the top of my head. But so these guys are all in this is I believe a 4 race segment, if I'm not mistaken. There's 4 races that you guys duke it out. Here it is. It's 3 segments throughout the season consisting of 12 races. Each segment will be a mini season with a playoff to determine the winner. After the first 8 races, the top 8 drivers in points will move into a playoff. There will be a point reset as all 8 drivers will start with 0 points. A 3 race playoff will determine the top 4 drivers. No bonus points or drops are allowed. The final 4 drivers will battle out for the English Auto Dash or Cast bonus money. That is going to be first place gets $60, second place gets 40, third place gets 30, and fourth gets 20. So there you have it, Gael. A lot of chances here to make some money doing something we love to do.
I'll say it's just extra incentive to race. I'll say it's you have fun doing this all on its own. And say now you get a little bit of cash in there.
Well, right now we're looking at a 41 driver field here on Chicago. That's a lot of metal rolling around this track at 180 plus miles an hour. And they've finished qualifying. My producer telling me they're done qualifying. So that looks like Dave Comstock is our pole sitter, put down at 29.732. Let's go ahead and roll for the rest of the grid, Gael. David Comstock, as I said, our pole winner at 29.732. To his outside in the 27 car, Anthony DeBarro.
Yes, in row two we've got the number 9 of Bobby Wetzel, and next to him we have the 21 of Nick Cohan.
And inside row 3, we've got Timothy Johnson there in the 28, and the 4 of Robert Gillenwater. Row 5, Daniel Falkingham and Nelson Rivera to his outside. Those guys are in the middle of the points battle here. Just to give you an idea, Falkingham is the leader coming into this race. However, he's only got a 15-point lead over David Comstock, our pole winner. Adam Gilliland rides third. Trey Edson's fourth. Justin Fuller rides fifth. Chad Cole is sixth. Anthony DeBarro is seventh. Tommy Ryan eighth. Ninth is Nick Silver, and 10th is tied with Mitch Rollo and Nicholas Cohan, and that's your top 10 in the Transervice Cup Series point standings. And folks, it's going to be a wild race tonight. I guarantee you that we're going to see some bumping and banging on track. There's no way to get around it with this Cup package. The great thing about it, though, is Gael, they can hit each other harder they want, but these cars are really easy to save out of a spin.
Yeah, and this one's it's gonna be some close racing here because it's like you can get a run on somebody and get to the inside, but it's really tough to finish that pass off on the bottom. So I think you're gonna see some aggressive moves, maybe even some like kind of a dive bomb slide drop type thing to try to get that exit off of the turn. So yeah, it's I have a feeling these guys are gonna put on a show like they always do.
Well, there's no doubt in my mind about that. So we're going to have a quick chat with our poll winner tonight, Dave Comstock. David, this is John up in the booth, buddy. You got my ears? Or you got your ears on, I mean?
Yeah, I've got your ears.
You got my ears, man? Give them back, damn it. No, anyway. Well, Dave, congratulations, man. Hell of a run right there on the poll. Talk to me about your lap.
It was just pretty much build speed for the first lap and then go pretty much all out for that second lap.
You can say it, man. Ball to the wall.
Yeah, we went balls to the wall that second lap. Yeah, so it's just all about that second lap. First lap really is just build speed. So it's just try to run the best line, the shortest way around the track you could without dropping momentum a whole lot, and here we are.
Well, you did it, man. Congratulations. Good luck tonight. I know you're about to go green, and you got a whole lot of time to do it, so I'm not going to keep you up here much longer. Good luck tonight, buddy.
Thanks. Enjoy the race.
And that was Dave Comstock, Aftermath Motorsports driver. Got himself a pole tonight. And here we go, Gael. They're stacked up 2 by 2. The pace cars bringing them down through 3 and 4. Right now, will be going green when they come out of this turn. And I don't know how much aggression we expect to see right off the bat, but knowing these guys, it's not going to be a snooze fest at all.
Yeah, so I think one driver, unless something happens, I know Jose Gonzalez looks like he's gonna be starting from the pits here, so maybe he's like, yeah, you know what, I'm gonna start a little bit further back here, play it safe, and then see how it shakes out.
Well, right now we got the field stacked up, and they're coming out of turn 4 right there. The pace car ducks off, and here we go. Green flag is out. Comstock gets off to a pretty good jump there. Way out in front of DeBarro. I don't know if everybody was snoozing back there or what, or they're just kind of take it easy a little bit here and see how slick these tires are going to be to start off. But Comstock's got a firm hold on that lead going down into 1. DeBarro in second. They're stacked up 2 by 2 from third on back.
Yeah, so these guys are really good about timing these starts and restarts to get that jump they need when they're the leader. But like you said with that draft, though, say you got DeBarro closes right back up onto David entering 3 there, and so he's going to try to run that slightly higher groove, maybe get him a good exit off of 4 here, and maybe see if he wants to make a run or if he's going to just try to bide his time. But yeah, it looks like he's going to make a run here on the high side, see if he can get around him entering 1 and 2.
I tell you what, that's where I made all my passes for my victory, was on the high side, believe it or not. On the first 2 laps after start, generally speaking. But oh wow, he got into the wall a little bit. Really kills his momentum coming off of 2. You're going to see him lose at least 1 spot right there to Cohan in the 21. But man, that could have been a lot worse if there had been anybody right on his bumper.
Yeah, so he was going for the lead, saying just got a little tighter than he was hoping to do. Had to lift out of it. I said I'm not sure if he got the wall or not, but he definitely had to get out of the gas there, and yeah, that definitely cost a lot of momentum. Lucky to only lose that 1 spot to Nick.
And see, I'm noticing a big difference already. Something that I saw in the open races, open setup races, and what I mean by that, folks that aren't familiar with iRacing, a fixed setup race like we have right here is these guys all run the same setup. They can't change anything on the setup except for the driving ratio, the brake bias, and I believe the offset of the steering wheel. And that's about it. And even under pits, they can't make any adjustments. And that's the one thing I hate about fixed setup racing, to be honest with you. But anyway, so what you got to do is you got to learn the setup and learn how to adjust your driving style to it, rather than vice versa. That's how I race. I make adjustments to my setup, to my driving style. But they can't do that here. So they got to deal with it. And in the open setup, Gael, we were using that outside lane pretty much off the start. That's where I made all my passes at mostly. Was on the outside line there because you just get a lot more momentum there and can hold it down. But it looks to me like these guys are really using middle to low in both ends of the track.
Yeah, so for the most part, yeah, like you said, right now they are definitely running that more mid-low line. I say when I was racing, I was kind of running that first seam pretty much. That was almost the yellow line for me. I didn't want to go below that because I actually started getting way too tight when I got even lower than there. So we'll see if it shifts based on where everybody else is driving. I say right now everybody's really spread out though. They're just kind of staying single file. So it looked like there was a little bit of a battle for the 5th place. Right now you've got Adam Gillens in the 81 there, who started 8th, and he's up to 5th already. And he's got Bob Gillenwater right behind him, seeing if he can make something happen as well.
Well, Gillenwater is holding down 6th spot, which is where he started. So that's pretty impressive. Gillen, he's a pretty aggressive driver. He likes to get to the front as quick as he can. Now, something else I noticed when I was driving the A car this week at Kentucky, the car, doesn't matter what setup you have, loves to be out front. It handles so much better when you don't have cars in front of you. I couldn't believe the difference. I almost had a full second of lap time difference running out front than I did running behind somebody. Something else I've noticed about this is that, you know, I don't know how it is with this fixed setup, but going down into 3 and 4, there's an area right here. Watch when Comstock comes down. You'll see it right here in 3 and 4. There's 2 black patches, little square patches right there, about right around the apex right there, boom. I noticed that as the run goes on, when you start getting a little too tight, if you'll hit those things just right, they'll turn your car for you. The downside is that if you're not used to driving a loose car, you spin. I saw a few guys try to mimic that move, and they didn't make it work. They wound up spinning themselves out. So I want to see if these guys wind up using that tactic later on.
Yeah, so it's one of those things you always try to find those little tips and tricks and just little things that give you that little edge that you need on some of these guys. Because like I said, with the group that you have here, it's just you got to find every little just 10th or 100th of a second you can to try to gain on these guys. And I think that might be something that you'll see too, where I think some of these guys might be just trying to really ride, take care of their tires, planning on that long run where hopefully someone's abusing their stuff and they can make a run for it.
Well, I'll tell you who's not laying back waiting for the long run. That's Cohan. He's putting all kind of pressure on the 42 right now.
Yeah, so that's probably part of it too, where it's like just try to stay as close as you can, try to force them into a mistake. I'll say, well, right on board here with Nick, right? They're following David Comstock in the 42. But yeah, you can see he closes right up onto David entering the turns, and then within about that car length or two of David. But yeah, coming off the straightaways of that draft, this new package pulls, it brings them that much closer to him. So yeah, I think, like you said, I think he's going to try to stay on him and try to get that lead position, because I mean as he gets really close off of 4, just try to get that clean air and see if he can then start setting the pace.
Yeah, I was going to say, watching him just now when we're on board, it looks like he's losing the nose just a little bit the closer to the back end of that car that he gets. I can't imagine that's a fun feeling when all of a sudden the car decides it doesn't want to turn left anymore.
No, it is not usually an enjoyable feeling. And I have noticed some guys are staggering a little bit too, trying to stay out of the groove a little bit. Like right there, he's ducking a little lower, try to get a little bit of clean air on the nose. That last time by too, I noticed DeBarro, he was actually a half a groove or so higher than Nick, trying to stay out of that dirty air. Right as right now entering 1, he is right on the bumper of David.
Man, I don't know if that was just me or did it look like Comstock wiggle a little bit going down in the 1 there.
I couldn't tell, but yeah, he was right there.
Well, let's see. We started this afternoon with 41 cars on the lead lap, but we still have 41 cars on the lead lap. Jose is still puttering around out there, not too far in front of our leaders. He decided to start from pit road, and that's just kind of a hazard you get when you do that. Is you're almost a lap down when the race starts. But if he keeps himself somewhat competitive there and off the wall and keeps his momentum up, he might get a lucky dog when the first caution flies, if a caution flies. Right now, these guys are looking really great for pushing this thing for a nice long green flag run. I mean, that's what I'm seeing anyway.
Yeah, so I'm going through the field right now. So it's a pretty good battle right here for the 10th position with Justin Fuller, Nigel Standish, as well as Chad Coleman. They've been kind of same thing. Like I think Fuller was able to get to the inside of Coleman, but then he just couldn't get that momentum on the exit. So that actually wound up costing him a spot there. So that was what I was talking about, where you can get underneath somebody, but to complete that pass, it's just a little bit harder because you need the whole track to keep that momentum up.
Well, it was really, I'm not gonna lie, it was almost impossible to make passes on the inside after the first 3 laps of the race. Now with the fresh tires on like right off the restart, go for it. Be as aggressive as hell as you can on the inside and get as many spots as you can, because after about 3 or 4 laps, it's not going to happen down there on the inside. That's something we found out in the open races, and like I said, the majority of my passes were just drafting right up on the guy's bumper, going down into the turn and staying right there, and then letting the draft pull me up to his outside, going down the backstretch, and then into 3 and 4 and complete the pass coming off of 4 on the outside. That's how I did pretty much every single one of my passes.
Yeah,
There
I'm
were
curious
a few I did on the inside. I'm not gonna lie, but I mean, it was so freaking difficult, man.
Oh yeah, no, this one's definitely a challenge to pass. And I've been noticing Nick, he's been trying to run the slightly lower line than David now. I think to probably get that clear narrow on the nose, and also I think just to kind of be like, hey, let him know he's there. Try to distract him again a little bit, try to make him miss his marks. But I'll say we've all raced with David a lot, and it's pretty hard to rattle him.
It really is. Comstock is. I mean, this whole group is a bunch of outstanding drivers. We got several guys in here who race real life or have raced real life, but for the most part, these are some of the best sim racing drivers you're going to see. And I'd put Comstock up against anybody in the freaking peak antifreeze here is what I'm trying to say. I'll get that out eventually. I would though. I've run against a bunch of those guys. I've run against Comstock. I would definitely put him up against any one of those guys any day.
Yeah, so like you said, he's entering 3. Nick's right there. Oh man, it's so close. I say.
And see, he takes his line away from him, though. He ducks down in there and puts that dirty air right back on his nose, though. That's a smart driver.
Yeah, so that's where I say it looks like Nick might take a look on the inside this time, entering 1. No, not quite. So he's definitely thinking, but I think, like we said, I think he's definitely trying to put in. But like I said, there's David running that very bottom line now, taking that line away from Nick, or maybe he's noticing, hey, Nick's actually making some ground on me doing this, so I'm going to try it myself.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Nick Dames back there, but that 17 car looks like it glitched out a minute ago. I saw a lot of smoke on track, and I went back and found it was coming off the Nick Dames car, but he's still under power, or it might have been just me on my end. I don't know. It's a damn good looking car, though.
Yeah,
it's a real good looking car.
But yeah, I'm noticing people are changing. Ooh, I say watching people change their groove a little bit. Say now David's actually running the very bottom.
We got 3 wide back here.
Oh, we might want to take a look at that then.
21st, 20th, and 19th, and they're getting it sorted out. But there were 3 wide coming through turn 1. There was it turn 1? No, it was turn 3. I'm sorry. And no, it was turn 1. Yeah, and there's still 3 wide on the front stretch now. Up there in 15th, 16th, 14th. Oh man, it's a great battle going on for this little group right here. It's like about 11th through 14th. Josh Parker is in there. You got the 40 car of Trey Edson. You got the 22 of Nelson Rivera. The 96 of Mitch Rollo, our very own Mitch Rollo. And the 28 right there of Timothy Johnson, who started he started 14th, didn't he? Or no, he started 5th. Well, he's sliding back in a hurry.
I say Mitch has made a good game though. Started 20th up to 15th. I say no help of cautions or anything like that yet.
Yeah.
So I think it's about the most anybody's actually gained since the start of the race towards the front of the field there. Joey Jutina's he started 32nd. He's up to the 24th position, so he's been making pretty good gains as well.
Yeah, see, a lot of those guys are those names you just mentioned, Mitch, Joey, Comstock, he's already leading, but these are guys that are notorious for doing better at the end of a longer run. We're on lap 21 now, and you're going to start seeing those guys move front. Like right now, Mitch Rollo is making a pass for that position over Nelson Rivera on the outside, which is what we talked about earlier. It's so much easier to do it on the outside. And there he goes. He completes that pass. He's bringing Timothy Johnson, even the 28, with him on the outside. So Nelson's probably going to wind up losing that spot, too, coming down here through 1 and 2.
Yeah, so battle for the lead now. Nick actually did finally take a look under David entering 1 there. Couldn't make it happen, but that's actually the closest he's been now. He's been kind of at his bumper, but he's actually, this time he got to about the quarter panel on entry of N1 and 2. So it's definitely making a charge for it here. And I think, like you said, I'd like to see him actually try to make a run on the top side, see if he can get that momentum, get to the top, and try to kind of pinch David down onto the bottom here.
Yeah, I was going to say, he's not going to make that pass on the inside. I'll actually bet you money on that.
Yeah, now without a mistake.
But yeah, that's I mean, these guys are doing what they always do, man. Putting on a great show. Lap 23 on the board right now, going around 24. So what we're going to do, folks, we're going to cut away just for a second. Quick commercial. We'll leave it on corner to corner for you so you don't miss anything. I need some water. All this talking has got me a little bit right. Well, wait a minute. Hold on. Let's hold off on that because right now we got a battle for the lead. Cohan's going to try it down the inside. I think Comstock is going to let him go. Right there. Look at that. Nope. He draws back up and right up on his bumper. Going to try to amp him up a little bit right there, going down the back stretch. Comstock's going to pull up alongside of him. Coming down into 3 and 4. Going to drive it down in there. Look at that. Boom. Slides on by. Makes it look so easy. I'm guessing he's just teasing Cohan right now. But he washes up through 4. He's going to have to get out of the gas a little bit. Gets back into it. Coming down to the line. Give that lap right there to Nick Cohan in the 21. coming back down into turn 1 right now. We've got Comstock fighting back on the outside, but I think Cohan's actually going to make me look like a fool, as usual, and make that pass on the inside for the lead coming down the backstretch.
Yeah, I think it was a little bit of the, not quite a slide job per se, but I think Nick sent it really deep into one that last lap to get clear of David. David returned the favor entering 3, and then Nick was able to get enough momentum to make it happen there that last time by. So now that he's got the clean air, I'll have to see what happens if David's able to keep the pressure on him, or if Nick's able to kind of build a little bit of a gap, or just to see how it might be a draft thing, or they just are able to, as long as you're kind of within the same pace, if you're able to hang on to these guys. So we'll take a look. Now, say as enter 3, I say here comes David back, taking a look on the inside of Nick. Oh, gets a little bit tight off of 4. It's going to cost him a little bit of momentum. Might open the door for DeBarro to take a peek as well. I say he's getting right to his back bumper here entering 1. He's thinking about it. No, he's going to, well, say he's still running a lower group though, so. Oh, touches the apron a little bit there, even entering 1 as well. So that's one thing that you have to be really careful about. I've had a bad habit of touching aprons, and usually I wind up spinning out.
Well, the apron can be your friend, and most times won't be your friend, especially here at Chicago. I did it again. At Kentucky, it's so bumpy down there by the apron. Really, the only place I really got too close to the apron was down 3 and 4, like I talked about earlier, where those 2 black patches are. You know what I'm noticing, though, is Cohan's really pulled out ahead of Comstock there, almost by 5 car lengths, which is really kind of a surprise. Let's see, last time by, his lap speed was a 31.764, and Comstock was a 31.9, so maybe Dave's done worn his tires out. I'm not real sure, or maybe he's just trying to save some fuel. I don't know what his game plan is here, but he's given up some ground to Cohan, and now he's got DeBarro breathing down his neck for second spot.
Yeah, I think Nick's just definitely has stepped it up. I'll say that last time by, they were all within like 100th of a second of each other. But yeah, I think Nick was he's able to take care of his stuff pretty well there, and yeah, I think he's actually just quicker right now. So I wonder if maybe he was able to pressure David into running harder than he wanted to, abuse that right front that little bit, and while doing so, use the draft to his advantage on it to stay with him while forcing David to run harder. But yeah, so you got DeBarro looks like we talked about, he's going to try to stay to the outside of David entering 1 here, see if he can make that happen. Say if he can try to get to his quarter panel and exit, that'll force David to stay low. Not quite. He's going for it.
Dave's going to let him have it, I think. I think Comstock's realized that maybe he burned his stuff up a little bit too much there, and doesn't have quite the car that the rest of these guys do right now, because he's going to give that spot up, I'm pretty sure, to DeBarro on the outside right there. They come down the front stretch, get that spot right there to DeBarro at that lap. I was just going to cover lap times. When these guys went green, the first real lap under green was a 29.9 for Comstock. Of course, that was probably a qualifying lap right there, getting himself out front of everybody there. Look at this fight going on between these 2 for second place. You got DeBarro on the outside in that Coors Light car, Comstock on the inside in the I can't even see his damn sponsor.
So I think he's got, was it Carolina
race
doors,
bids,
windows and doors? Yeah, Carolina doors and windows, as well as racing bids, I believe.
Right, racing bids. But and that was a 29. Really, they've been running 30.1 at the start, and here we are 31 laps later, and it's a 32 flat last time by for Comstock. So there is quite a bit of drop off on these tires, maybe a little bit more than what Dave was looking for, as he falls back to third. So let's take that commercial break real quick, folks. I really need some water. I'm getting a little bit of dry mouth here. TMI, I'm sure. But we're going to leave it on corner to corner so you don't miss any of this great fight. Aaron's down there bringing these great pictures. So I'll stop on by Facebook, give us a thumbs up, and tell Aaron thank you so much for being a great producer. We'll be right back. Stay tuned to the Sim Racing Network.
All right, Watson, let's analyze the chemicals in this cigarette smoke. Cadmium?
Check.
Formaldehyde?
Check.
Arsenic?
Sir, isn't arsenic what they used in rat poison?
Yeah, isn't arsenic what they used in rat poison?
Oh, what was I thinking, sir? It's not like we're gonna smoke them.
Neither will the rats.
Tobacco is no joke. Cigarette smoke has over 7,000 chemicals. Learn more at thefactsnow.com.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
And we're back, folks. Under caution, Randy Yoakum and Mike Grandy got together here. We're going to bring up the replay for you. Unfortunately, for some reason, I can't see it.
Yeah, so I think Aaron was able to pull it up right now. Say, unfortunately, it just looked like Mike Grandy got a little tight off of turn 2. Just nowhere for Randy Yoakum to go. Same thing for Jimmy Coleman, unfortunately for those guys. I say definitely Randy Yoakum got the worst of it. He pretty much ripped the whole front end of his car off. The other guys are going to be pretty rough as well, but yeah, not ideal. However, pit stop time, and it's going to be a busy one.
Indeed, we've gone 36 laps under green as the leaders come down pit road now. The key here is not screwing up on pit road. If you mess up on pit road here at Kentucky, you're going to lose several spots for sure. And depending on if you get black flag too. I mean, if you get a black flag, then you got to come in, and depending on what you did, either come in and sort of stop and go into green, or just get held in your pit box, or go in the longest line. So here we go. They've apparently EJ O'Rourke's chat has just been disabled. I wonder what he had to say.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think I saw Bobby Wetzel may have overshot his pits a little bit in the 9 car, so that's going to hurt his cause. So now it's the fight off.
He was
the
up to
pits.
4th too, wasn't he?
Looks like Nick will retain the lead. Oh, what's going on? Everybody's stopping here.
Comstock's playing games. That's what he's doing.
That was... I'm surprised nobody got damage out of that. That's dangerous. Well,
I'm not real sure what Comstock's idea was there. Maybe he was... I don't know, but you're right. I'm surprised we didn't get a bunch of damaged cars out of that. But he's going to lose a few spots on pit road because of that.
Yeah, same beneficiary of that one is going to probably be Daniel Falkingham, I believe. It looks like that's going to put him up to 2nd.
Oh, wait a minute. Comstock's passing everybody up, though. Oh, no, now he's going back. Okay. We got to let this thing circle around. Yeah, we got to let this thing circle around, folks, because iRacing doesn't update the scoring automatically. Okay.
Yeah, definitely. He's got Nick, though, still retaining the lead. But yeah, moved Daniel Falkingham up in 2nd position. Chad Coleman to 3rd. Anthony DeBarro up to 4th. And I believe David will be 5th, it's looking like, with Adam Gilland in 6th. So I'll say... Well, so taking a look here, so yeah, so I'll say with those little pit games there, that's definitely, I'll say I'm not sure if there's just they want to be on the top or the bottom or what was going on there, but definitely was a benefit there for Daniel Falkingham. I think actually I just figured out what it was. I think what was happening was Comstock was trying to prevent the 2 teammates from being lined up front and rear of each other, so that way they couldn't time the restart. However, it doesn't look like that panned out on this one, so I think you're going to see the 21 and the 27 probably get a pretty decent jump on this restart here.
You think so, huh?
Strategeries.
Well, here we go. Pace car ducks off. We're going to be green here shortly, folks. You got DeBarro up on the outside. I'm sorry. DeBarro's on the outside, right behind Cohan. 2 teammates, like I said. And you call it there, Gael. They timed that start. Look at that. DeBarro's going to go from 4th to 2nd. Going down into turn 1, going to leave Falkingham back there fighting for 3rd with several cars kind of chewing on his back bumper there.
Yeah, I mean, That's the first time I've actually ever seen people try to stop and do all that kind of stuff at a mile and a half one. I mean, I've seen that game at like a Martinsville or a Bristol, but never at a Kentucky.
Well, hey, welcome to iRacing, where we like to make weird shit happen. I'm just saying, it's common, man. It really is. Well, here we go. It's interesting that now that it's all, we were a lap after this restart, and DeBarro is kind of taking it easy back there in second spot, but Falkingham's about to put all kinds of pressure on him for that second spot. So you got to kind of wonder, is DeBarro going to try and just fend off the spot, or is he going to just go ahead and turn his aggression up a little bit and go for the lead? Oh, look at this. 3 wide down through turn 2 for third spot. You got Colin there. You got
Gillen,
who is that?
Coleman,
Gillen
and
and
Falkingham.
Falkingham, yeah. And all that allowed the 51 car, VJ O'Rourke, to jump up there and make himself a part of this. I'm sorry, Fuller. Justin Fuller. I'm sorry, yeah. Well, I'm going to hear some shit about that one.
That's a big wash up there from Adam Gillen.
Yep, he went in there just a little too hard, got on the gas a little too soon. It looked like, look at that bump traffic by Fuller on the back stretch. Gets into the back of Falkingham, who then gets in the back of 81. That's a way to say hello.
I'm not a big fan of bump drafting. This track's bumpy enough on its own. You don't need anybody helping you.
I'm saying, man. He's just trying to let them know, hey, man, let's go. Let's pick up the pace here a little bit.
Yeah, so it's pretty interesting. I mean, I've seen that obviously teammates working together in starts and restarts before. I mean, you even see it obviously in NASCAR with the Cup Series and Xfinity and such. But to see them to this extent doing it here, I mean, that kind of tells you how seriously these guys take this stuff. I mean, in theory, it's all for fun and everything like that. But yeah, I mean, if you got teammates that you can work with, I mean, and if the shoe was on the other foot, you would have seen the same thing with David Comstock doing the same thing with his teammates, most likely.
Oh, absolutely. Well, folks, we got a driver that was involved in this latest caution, Randy Yoakum. Randy, now that you're out of the infield care center, buddy, how you doing? Okay, well, it looks like Randy's going to decline to talk to us for a second there. That's okay. I can understand. He's probably a little frustrated right now with the way things turned out.
Yeah, same. Yeah, I'd say he might just either need a moment or may have stepped away for a little bit, but I'll say we can try to check in with him a little bit later to see if, I'd say, unfortunately though, just, he had nowhere to go on that deal there.
Yeah, that is unfortunate. It's part of racing though, man, especially on these mile and a half and in the bigger tracks where things happen so quickly. If it's right in front of you, just don't have anywhere to go. Well, folks, this is the Sim Racing Network. We are presenting the Sim500's Monday Night Series, brought to you by Transervice Cup Series. Sorry, Transervice. I'll get this out eventually. It's the Transervice Cup Series. What I'm trying to get at here is if you get a chance, visit the Transervice guys over on their Facebook page. I don't have it written down in front of me or off the top of my head either. But give them a thumbs up, give them a like, let them know you appreciate their support in the Sim500 group, because they're paying out a big old wad of money for this series. I mean, you're looking at, let's see, that's 550, that's 700, 800, 865, 915, 96, almost $1,000 in purse money right there for first through eighth. The winner of this championship gets $350. Gael, that's a freaking Oculus Rift, man.
Yeah, I'll say if you're into the VR game, that's the way to do it.
I want to try it. I really do.
I say I've tried it. It's a little too intense for me, but so my dad has it on his setup and he loves it. I say and it's actually been a huge improvement for him too. So I say if you can do it and it works for you, then yeah, it's definitely a pretty good investment. I'll say I've just been looking through the standings though, and I think one of the biggest gainers we talked about earlier was our own Mitchell. He's up to 11th place from starting 20th. So he's been having a really good run here so far in this race. I apologize, Mitch, if I wind up jinxing you, but hopefully you can keep this run going, man.
No doubt, right? Yeah, I am thinking about maybe sponsoring a hard charger award here in the near future. I'm going to go ahead and open up Raging Cajun Graphics and Designs again and get that rolling again, because I've got some needs. I need to do some painting to get some needs met, and I'm thinking about.
As I mentioned, you got a good fight here between those two, the 96 and the 23 of Josh Parker. It looks like Mitch is able to get to the outside of Josh Parker. He's going to clear him off of 2, and that's going to put him up into the 10th position.
And here comes Standish with him on that outside. This is what I was talking about. That outside line really comes in this late in the race. We were at lap 48 of 134 laps, and this is just going to continue to grow, this outside line. I'm not sure how the fixed setup's going to run, but we were almost able to hold it wide open after a restart going on the outside for about 50% of the turn in the open. And then, I mean, it was a blast. It really was. But man, look at Rollo go. Look at him go.
I was saying, yeah, Nigel Standish was able to sneak around as well. And you notice, I don't know if you saw that, but Josh Parker, he actually defended the top up against Robert Gillenwater. So he had the one guy sneak by him. He's like, I'm not letting anybody else get by on the top side there.
Exactly,
so
yeah.
he went up to protect that top immediately after, as soon as he could. So just goes to show them how important the momentum is. But so up front, though, you got the top 5 just all right on top of each other. Slight gap to David Comstock, but that might just be an adjustment after that first run. Say, okay, I'm going to take it a little easier here, and then I'm going to push hard when these guys hopefully burn their stuff up.
Which is his MO. That's the way Comstock always run. As long as I've watched him race, he's not usually a front runner. He usually starts off. He might start off up front, but he'll drive back to the mid pack and then just hang out there, saving his stuff, and then boom, next thing you know, at the end of the run, here he comes passing everybody and their brother. So that may be what he's shooting at right now. But like you said, you can throw a blanket over the top 5. You got Cohan leading this little charge right here, the 21 car. Behind him, his teammate 27, Anthony DeBarro. Behind him, you got Adam Gilliland, the crazy Texan, as I like to call him. Behind him, you got Falkenham, the kid, as he's known. And just behind him, wild man Justin Fuller. Anything goes, Justin Fuller. That dude is, he's unpredictable.
That's what makes him exciting, though.
It makes racing exciting having him in the server. It really does, because you don't know what he's going to do, you know? And I love watching Justin. I'm not making fun of him in any way. The guy's got my respect. He can drive a car, that's for sure. Well, a sim car anyway. I don't know if he races in real life, but he gets it done here in the iRaces here. Look at this. As we say all of this about Comstock taking it easy, boom, he brings himself in 6th place up right on the bumper there. 5th place driver Justin Fuller gives him a little pressure. We've been green now for, let's see. We went to caution at lap 38, went back to green. I'm sorry, lap 36. We went back to green at 39. So they've been under green for about 13 laps now. These tires are starting to say, hey, let's see what we can do here. And look at Comstock trying to make a pass on the inside. You think we'll get it done, Gael?
Ooh, it was a little tight. It is. I don't know. It's Fuller. He's trying to pass, and saying we've talked about that. It's like he's not an easy one to pass. But you're right, though. I mean, there are times
he's like Ryan Newman, man. His car gets 3 times wider than normally when you're trying to pass him.
But yeah, no. I mean, their lap times have dropped off about second to a second and a half since they went back green on this restart. So yeah, it's definitely tires starting to definitely fade on these guys. But yeah, I mean, at this point though, big dive. David cut the apron a little bit in 3 and 4.
Yeah, he did. And look at him wash up. Whoa, he's gonna have to get out of the gas hard right there, and that's gonna let the I'm sorry.
The 20 of Chad Coleman.
Thank you. The 20 of all these red, white, and blue cars are blowing my mind right here, man.
Yeah, so it's a good thing and bad thing. These guys get these good, nice paint schemes.
Right, but then you can't. You see, I'm watching from TV3 so I can see a bigger, broader picture. So from this angle, all these damn red, white, and blue cars look the same to me. Damn it! Like I can tell you DeBarro and Comstock apart, but I can't tell you Fuller and freaking Cole right now because they're so close together.
Yeah, they're all running on top of each other. So we had that one race a few weeks back where everybody was running the green and white and black cars like Comstock's.
Yes, that was fun. Well, anyway, so back to the race. I'm not sure what's going on with Falkingham, but he wiggled once back there, and he's got 51 up on his rear end now. Putting some pressure on him for that spot. Comstock and Cole in the meantime. Look at Cole drive that thing down in a 3 like that. But I would assume that he saw what Comstock did a minute ago and probably try not to drive that quite so hard down in 3 and 4.
Yeah, you gotta be real careful with the apron with these things. It's just too much of a risk for for it to happen. I say Nick's able to get himself a nice little gap though. He's got about half a second or so on his teammate DeBarro, so that gives him some nice breathing room. He can just kind of focus on his marks, and whereas everybody else is pretty much probably staring at their mirrors half this time.
Edson just gave a shot to the back bumper of the 9 car, Bobby Wetzel right there, kind of like what we saw earlier with Fuller. And I'm like you, man. I don't know if bump drafting is such a good idea here at Kentucky. It's a bumpy track already, and hard enough for these cars. And you hit me going down to a corner, I'm liable to not be happy with you.
Yeah, so you might be trying to help out, but they may not see the same.
Look, here he goes again. I can't quite get to him this time.
Yeah, I think it's like we talked about, maybe just trying to throw him off a little bit, like push him into the turn a little faster than he did the previous lap, and
Yeah.
misses braking points. But yeah, trying to take a look here. Say actually, DeBarro's been able to gap Adam Gilliland as well now, so he's got a little bit of a buffer between himself and them. But yeah, from pretty much Adam Gilliland on back, they're all right on top of each other now. From Adam all the way down to 10th and Mitchell, he's just about joined that pack as well. So anybody
I'm
makes
not
that
sure
little
what
mix-up.
Edson's game is. He gets right up. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I mean Wetzel and Edson up back here. I've been watching them for a couple laps, and Edson gets right up on the bumper, and then it's almost like he lets up. So I'm not real sure what he's getting at here, or if maybe that's just the arrow doing that to him. But except for the one time when he bump drafted him, that's about the only time.
Bump draft's a different story, but yeah, no, I think you're right though. I mean, if he gets a good exit, that's just the draft. It just pulls you in so much. Like you said, there he goes right there, almost like probably a full car.
Oh, look at Cole send it down to 3. I'm sorry, guy. I didn't mean to steer him over your ear like that, but wow. I mean, he sent it down. Look at that. Boy, Fuller gets wicked loose right there.
Yeah, so it's getting a little aggressive here.
Yeah, Coleman just sent it down into 3, and I didn't think he'd make it stick, but he did. But then coming off of 4 right there, the 51 wiggled. Fuller wiggled just a little bit and allowed Coleman to stick that car down the inside some more. So now they're fighting down the backstretch, going into 3 and 4. Look at that, sends it down into 3 again. And I'll be damned if he's not making it stick down there. That's amazing. He's probably got his brake bias fixed pretty good there. That's something else we used a little bit on the longer runs was brake bias to help the car turn a little bit there in the middle of the corner. But look at that, Fuller fighting back on the outside, and I'll be doggone if Comstock's don't get up inside of this here in a minute.
I was going to say, while we were watching that, he got around Wetzel and Trey Edson. Trey Edson. I don't know where he got there. Oh,
look
I thought he was going to try to force his way through.
Coleman, he says, dude, get out of my way. And look, here goes Edson. He dives it down in 3 to pass up Wetzel, but he's going to wash up on exit. He's going to have to get out of the gas right here, and that's going to let Wetzel get back down the inside of him. Man, we got fighting all over the track right now for position, and this is all from 6th on back. And where's Rollo at? He's just kind of back there watching all this.
I say he just joined the party. I say now he's going to try to see where he can make things happen on his side.
So you got to Edson on the outside of Wetzel now, trying to make his move. He's going to make that pass coming off of 2 right there, going down the backstretch. Got a lot of good momentum right there coming off that exit of 2 right there. And then look at this. Coleman sends it down into 3 again. And he's really making that work for him, but I got to wonder what that's doing to his right front. I mean, it's got to be turning up that right front.
Yeah, it usually doesn't help very much. I'll say now they're run down to the apron trying to break the draft, and then they all chase each other trying to stay right inside of it. So, yeah.
Now, while we're watching all this, guy, I'll take a peek up front and look at how close DeBarro's now gotten up to the back end of Cohan.
Oh, wow.
Cohan was almost a full second out in front about 5 laps ago, and now that's down to about 0.235. So I'm not sure if Cohan's just easing up or if DeBarro's catching him, but either way, we may have a fight for the lead here between teammates here pretty soon. I wonder if that's going to be as good as the fight it was between brothers this weekend.
That was a hell of a finish.
That had to have been one of the best, most exciting finishes I've seen all season, man. Whether you're a Kyle Busch fan or a Kurt Busch fan or you don't like either one of them, you still got to say that was a great race.
Yeah, so I got to catch up. I don't have any preference either way with those two, but yeah, it was a lot of fun to watch.
I'm just happy for Kurt, man. I mean, anywhere that guy goes, he makes a program. To me anyway, it just seems like he makes the program better wherever he goes to.
Yeah, no, I have no disagreement with you there. So I think I think I saw Coleman send it a little bit too deep. That's going to cost him here. He's going to have David Comstock sneak by, and I think Trey Edson's going to try to follow suit here as well, entering 1 and 2.
So he's finally sent it down there one too many times, huh?
Oh, as they touch off of 2.
Oh, a little contact, and Edson gets sideways there.
Wow.
Manages to save it, but that's going to let Coleman pull out in front of him by a couple of cars. But that was a hell of a save right there by Edson. Can we pull that back up on replay there, Aaron?
And then I also
that's unfortunate, man, because that would have been fun
was able to get around Bobby Wetzel to put Mitch up into the 9th position now.
Mitch is just riding back there, watching all these guys wear their equipment out. So right now, Rollo up to 9th from 20th spot. That's a really, really great climb right there. Another one to look at is Dick Tame's back there in the 17. He gridded 23rd. He's up to 17th right now, so that's a pretty good climb for him. We've got a lot of cars making their ways up. We started this race, by the way. Let's go ahead and cover that real quick. We started the race with 41 cars. We still have 38 on the lead lap. 1 car, 1 lap down. That's Brian Wertman. Randy Yoakum has retired his vehicle from the race. Steve Gottschalk has also retired from the race. but we still got 38 cars on the lead lap and 39 on track. So that's a hell of a field right there, guy.
Yeah, so they're all still. I mean, you've got the top 10 within 5 seconds, actually top 12 within 5 seconds of the lead still, and that's after 30 laps now of this green flag run.
Yeah, 30 laps exactly. Coming to 31, yes.
But yeah, so yeah, the front two still have that nice little gap. But yeah, Adam Gillen's now he's got lots of pressure from Daniel Falkingham, and then like we mentioned, Comstock was able to get by Chad Coleman, so he can set his sights on Fuller here. And yeah, and I'm also noticing that it looks like some of these other guys are starting to kind of try to close their way back in here, like Timothy Johnston, Nigel Standish, and I haven't mentioned Chad Cole too much. Same thing, started a little towards the back, 21st up to 13th at the moment. He's one that's usually pretty good about saving tires.
Now, here's something else I've noticed. Well, let me rephrase that. Here's something I saw in the A Open races. I raced a few of them this week, and in a couple of them, everybody on track drove the entire distance on fuel before they pitted. And then in a couple of them, some guy would pit 30 laps into the run just for the tires and then get back on track. So I'm just kind of wondering what kind of a tire strategy we'll see. Will these guys go ahead and stretch this thing all the way out to the end of the fuel run, or you think we'll see some guys duck in and get some fuel and tires for the last half of this race? Because we're on lap 70 now. If they go another, 14, 15 laps, they can do this on one stop after that. So what do you do?
So it's the strategy of, do you pit as soon as you get into your window, or do you wait until you're out of fuel at that point? Try to almost like the short pit versus kind of just trying to wait and maybe catch a yellow or things of that nature. I've been hit or miss on my strategies with those. Usually I would
you and
usually
me both,
wait.
brother.
I'd usually wait a little later to try to pit and try to see if I could catch some guys out with a timely yellow. Sometimes it worked and I would trap almost the whole field down a lap, and then other times I would wind up losing like half a lap just because I tried staying out too long on old tires.
Well, right now, Wortman is about to be lapped again, and Jimmy Coleman's on the back side of the field in the 3 car, but he's got some damage from earlier incident. It looks like. Other than that, there's really nobody in any danger of going laps down, other than Granny and the guy, the guys that we just covered here in the back. And these are all guys that have damage from prior incidents. So, I mean, it's halfway through a fuel run, a little more than halfway through the fuel run. So I don't know. Maybe short pitting wouldn't be a bad idea. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's definitely worth the risk. Say if you can, we talked about how hard it is to pass with these things. If you can try to keep them pinned to the bottom, like say you actually right there, say Adam Gillen and Daniel Falkingham. Falkingham was able to get to the inside of Adam, but he just could not keep the momentum on the exit. But yeah, so now actually in the same thing, you see David Comstock actually, he was able to get to the top side of Justin Fuller and make that pass happen fairly easily. So
that's a great way to illustrate what we've been talking about, Gael. I mean, passing on the outside is just really the way to go right now. It's so damn difficult, especially this far into the run, to pass on the inside.
Yeah, so you can get your nose down there, but then you just wash up basically. And it's either hit the car next to you or you got to roll out of it.
Exactly. And I think Comstock has found out that high line works better for him, because he's run that high line now for the last couple of laps and actually shaved off almost a tenth of a second in his time, and that's great. I mean, anywhere you can find some grip and time like that this late to the run is good. So let's watch him for a couple of laps and see if he doesn't stay up there in that high line like he is. And he looks really comfortable up there too. Watch this momentum he gets coming off the 2 right here, and or not. I love when they do that.
No, he's got a little bit. I see he's still got
a little bit,
bro.
yeah.
I say he's
gonna
been
say
running the
that
top
in
the
3.
whole time, and then he's like, "Oh, through the bottom wall." You expect that?
Just
keep
wants to
us
make
on our
that pass.
toes.
Yeah. Well, what it is he's got 2 cars in front of him that are both taking his line away. So I guess he's wanting to see if he can do any kind of a pass down there inside, but I really just don't think that's going to happen. What you're going to have to do is, like I said, you're going to have to try and time it just right to where when they come down either the front stretch or the back stretch. Oh, we got a caution on track. Let's see where that's at. Oh, really? Yeah, it looks like, I don't know if Tim's realized Parker was down there or not, but wow, Parker got some air. And I can tell you right now, he's going to have about a half a minute to a minute and a half of damage to fix just from that air he got just now going down to the infield. That happened to me once this week. I was kind of shocked when I didn't think I hit anything that hard. And as you'll see right here, they get together coming off of 4 on the replay, folks. And Parker goes shooting off down the infield. Watch his air he gets right here. Man, this is insane.
Yeah, so it's probably gonna mess up some fenders there. Say, if it was the Cup Series, he'd have had a whole front end of the car torn off.
Oh,
But
that's not necessarily true anymore with this new body style they've got, and the new valent splitter, whatever the hell they're calling it now. That they added one and took one off or whatever. But I saw a couple of guys, I think it was a Chicago race, maybe I can't remember which race it was, but went down to the grass nose first and didn't really do a whole lot of damage. Well, here we go, pit stops again, and let's see what kind of games that we get out of Comstock and Group this time. They're all pitting here shortly and going to get in there and get 4 tires of fuel. I'm absolutely certain of that. 2 tires is not the way to go right now. It's way too soon for that kind of a game to be played. Oh wow,
21
Cohan missed his pit.
overshot. Yeah,
Looks
21
like
overshot.
everybody else got in okay though.
He reacted pretty fast, so he might be able to recover, but he might lose a spot or 2 here on that one. But I don't think it'll hurt him as bad as it could.
And see, Comstock's got a really good start, really good pit box right there. All he's got to do is nose it out, and he might not lose too many spots there. Looks like he killed the cone that time. So let's see, it's going to be Falkingham winning the race off pit road. You got DeBarro, Comstock, and it looks like Comstock's going to be in between the teammates, but on track during the lineup, he'll be outside of them. I'm curious as to how the heck Falkingham got out of there so quickly.
He had actually, yeah, say he had a 13.5 pit stop. Everybody else was in the 14s, 15s. So
yeah, he had a great pit stop, 4 tires for sure.
Oh yeah, no, so he probably just hit his marks really well, or people talk about just kind of it's a crapshoot. It seems like sometimes with the pit crew, so he may have just lucked out on that one. But yeah, say because he had a 13.5. Everybody else was 14.1, 14.2, 15. And then I mean, if you can get into your box pretty aggressively, that's gonna give a lot of benefits there too.
Well, this erases the fuel when do we stop question right here, because they can all make it from here on out on fuel. I'm fairly certain.
I hear some clutching though.
You're going to, in case there's a green, white checkered. But if this thing goes green all the way from there, they're going to go back to green on lap 81, I think. So 47 laps is how far they're going to go. And they've got a pit window between 52 and 58. So yeah, I think they'll be okay.
Yeah, it'll be right around there.
And that's if it goes green. I mean, this is only the second caution on the night. So
yeah, they've done a really good job tonight.
So folks, while we have a minute, let's talk about the Sim Racing Network's triple threat of broadcasting. Basically, we have a YouTube channel, a Twitch channel, and of course our Facebook page live. Make sure you find one, or hell, find us on all 3 of them. Give us a like and a follow. Set your notifications up. You'll get notifications of when we go live. I got an email and a little ding on my phone that we went live from Twitch, and as if I didn't know that. But anyway, you can follow us and like us. Get your notifications set up. You'll be told when we go live on all the racing that we cover. We cover the Transervice Cup Series here. The Sunday night Kick-Ass Beef Jerky Xfinity Series, and the Wednesday night WCI Truck Parts Series for the trucks over there here at the Sim500. I think this will be at Chicago also. I actually run in that one, so I won't be up in the booth. And starting this week, I'm also in the Xfinity Series, so I won't be in the booth for that. But you will have Aaron Grosskopf, you will have Sean Yoder or Ben Gilcrease, maybe even Mitch Rollo or my man Gael Brooks right here. Somebody will be up here broadcasting these races. Lights are on the pace car, Gael. We're about to go back to green, buddy. And we got lap 80. Lap 81 will go back to green. So this could be the final stretch right here if these guys keep it green.
Yeah, so it could be the run to the end. Let's say it just depends on how everybody kind of minds their manners or not. Let's say I think business will definitely be picking up here. Not ideal for DeBarro and Cohan. I say they don't have control of this restart here, so they're going to be at the mercy of how good of a restart they can get compared to Falkingham on the on this start here.
That was almost 40 laps on the last run. So
that's a good run, yeah. So yeah. I think you're
53
gonna
laps, 54 laps. Excuse me.
As I say, let's see. You've got Falkingham, and then you've got Comstock and Fuller on the inside, while you have DeBarro, Cohan, and Adam Gilliland up top. So yeah, it's gonna be Say these guys have been running really strong all night, so we'll see how this all plays out here.
Here we go. Pace car ducks off into the pits right there. And we have the green flag. There goes Falkingham down the inside. He's got Comstock trying to hold tight to his bumper. Doesn't do it. But I'll tell you what, Cohan really did not stick with his teammate right there at all. I don't know if he was sleeping or what, but that's going to give Comstock a little bit of a fight on the outside for that spot. With fresh tires, though, I was going to say he should be able to hold them off. But look at this. Fuller's going to take it 3 wide down the backstretch for that second spot, putting Comstock in the middle. In the meantime, on the outside, Cohan bump traps his teammate, trying to send him in just a little bit harder than Fuller. Fuller's still down there on the inside. He's going to try and hold that spot, fight for that second spot. Look at how wiggly Comstock got right there just now. And look at that bumping and banging. Oh, we got another caution on track. Hold tight, folks. We're going to find out who that was. Man, we had almost a caution up front, though.
And it looks like, unfortunately, it may have involved our own 00 Ben Kilcrease. And it looks like, yeah, it's a little bit of a combo hit with looks like the 15, the 93, and the 00 all got into each other. Take a look here on the replay.
Oh, man. It looked like a little bit of net code is what got Ben, but you're right. The 15 and the 93 got into each other right there. And it looks like, yeah, really good job keeping that car off the wall, as our producer pointed out. But it looks like, yeah, Silver down there in the 15 got into the back left corner there of the 93. And, yeah, it was all net code that got Ben out of shape. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, it was a really also good save by Kevin. They're able to hang on to it. Like I said, they'll need tires and maybe a change of pants, but otherwise, though, able to survive that pretty well.
Ben came up in front of all those cars. I thought he was going to get slaughtered right there. Well, here we go. Under green right off the bat. Do you think we'll see anybody come in the pits other than the guys that are going to need tires from that wreck?
I think some maybe towards the mid pack might. I think there will be takers. I don't know if they're maybe around 15th, 20th, somewhere in that range. But yeah, I mean, if I was towards the back, I think I would definitely be pitting on this one because these tires definitely fall off. So we'll see some.
Well,
fakes,
let's have
though.
a word with one of the folks involved in that little melee down there going into 3. Hey, Ben Kilcrease, John up at the booth. How you doing, bud?
I've been better, John. How are you guys?
Did you catch your breath yet, buddy?
Yeah, I caught my breath, and well, let's just say we've got to do a dry cleaning service under this pit stop.
Gaio mentioned that might have been a necessity for you.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming you're going to go ahead and duck in here and get you some tires and maybe get what little damage you got there fixed, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. We're gonna just beat out what got wrinkled in there and try and get back up into the top 30. That seems about where we're at tonight. So yeah.
Is it is the fix-ups that's giving you just a hard time, Ben?
It's just a package in general. To me, it's no fun to drive. It's just hardly no passing at all. And when you do get a chance to pass, you gotta, overdrive it and risk wrecking yourself and the person that you're passing just to get by the car. So, I mean, overall, it's probably fun for you guys to watch, but for us drivers, it's pure hell.
Well, let me give you some help real quick. The best way to pass, draft right up on them on that right rear corner, and just as you go through the turn, just stay on that right rear corner, and as soon as you start to exit, just shoot up to the outside before they can. That's about the only way to get it done, man.
We'll try it.
Beat them to the outside groove and make that pass on the outside, buddy. I got faith in you. Well, look, good luck. We're going to put you back down there with the rest of your teammates. Tell that 93 car to just, lay off a little bit, man. His internet is what spun you, by the way. I don't know if you noticed that yet or not, but he was 3 feet away from you when you went around.
Gotcha. Thanks for letting me know, John. And
hey, man, that's what I'm here for, brother. Good luck tonight, Ben. That was the 00 of Ben Kilcrease, the founder, CEO, and head honcho over here at SRN. Altogether good guy. Just having some really crappy luck tonight. I feel bad for him, man. He's such a nice guy, and he just can't seem to catch a break when it comes to this cup car.
Yeah, so unfortunately, you get those series and just like you said, just like, okay, when am I gonna have something go right for me? So, I mean, it's hard to say. Maybe he'll be like kind of out of the path of the next potential caution that could happen, or he's just, I mean, like I said, maybe he'll take your advice to heart and he'll start going up top and putting him down there.
I hope he doesn't think I was joking. I know I kind of said it in a lighthearted way, but I'm telling you, man, I'm going to post the replay on our Facebook page. of my victory, the last 20 or so laps, and the majority of my passes were done on the outside. There were a few I had to do on the inside, but it was pulling them coming off of 4 with a huge run coming off of 4 and diving down the inside and taking it through the tri-oval. But very rarely was I able to pass anybody up on the inside of the turn. What the hell are these guys doing here in the top 5? Look at this. They're all bunkled up, trying to. I don't know what's going on.
I think they're all still saving fuel. Let's say I just went to take a look at the 39 of Daniel Falkingham, and yes, same thing. I could not hear his car at all. So I think they're just getting a little bit of momentum, shut the car off,
Yeah, they're
coast as far
clutching
as
it
they
and killing
can.
it. Yeah, that's what they're
Say
doing.
right on board
Because
and say
they're
you
they're
can
doing is
hear the
trying to save
silence.
fuel. Yeah, they're trying to save fuel for the green white checkered. I mean that's that's a smart move too, because mathematically they can actually go all the way on fuel right now. But if there's a green white checkered, I think they do one here, right, Aaron?
Yeah, it's one
Yeah, there's
with
only one
Sim
chance at it, so they
500.
want to make sure they've got enough fuel for that run. And of course, none of them pitted either for this caution, so that's another thing. But yeah, I happened to look up and like they were all 5 wide right there for a second. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah,
It's like
say
they're doing a
it's
parade lap or something for
so,
the
saying it
fans.
looks like the first person that took tires is the 22 of Nelson Rivera in 27th place. It's interesting though. It looks like he took 2, whereas everybody else who pitted took 4. So I'll be curious to see if maybe I say with them talking about it being tighter, maybe taking that 2 will be enough to loosen it up a little bit, where maybe he feels like it'll drive a little better there. So
I can tell you it helped out in the B car.
So yeah, so that'll be something to keep an eye on, see how he compares to like Scott Simley, EJ O'Rourke, Chris Gerbeau. But say I think we are about to go green right here, though.
Yep, pace car ducks off. We got Falkingham down the inside still. He's got DeBarro to his outside. DeBarro's teammate behind him, Nick Cohen at 21. And back there in 4th is somebody we never ever talk about, Justin Fuller.
That's a new name to me. I'm not familiar with it, but
I've heard he's
he
some
might be
sort of a
alright.
hot shoe, man. I don't know. That's what we're going to call him from now on. Justin Hot Shoe Fuller. And look at this, 3 wide already. Gilliland down there trying to take it 3 wide for that spot. He's got Fuller to his outside. He's got Tim down there on his inside in the 28 car. Nobody's back. In the meantime, we got a fight for the lead. Comstock pushes the 21 down to the inside in front of the 38. The 39 of Falkingham. Falkingham's going to try and fight back on the inside, on the outside, excuse me. But I don't know if he's going to pull it off, so we're going to give that. Oh, wow. It's almost dead even coming across the line right there. iRacing says that Cohan had the lead for that lap. Cohan sends it down the 1, gets loose right there. He's going to have to back out of the gas. That's going to give Falkingham the momentum on the outside to take the lead back. In the meantime, DeBarro pulls up to the bumper. Gael, help me out here, brother. I'm running out of breath.
I know. I say I'm trying to catch my breath just watching these guys right now. DeBarro is really got caution 3 and 4, unfortunately.
Big wreck in turn 3. Huge wreck in turn 3. Give us a minute, folks. We'll pull it up. It's going to involve several cars. We'll get one for our producer here. The car number 5 was involved. That's Chris Cabot. The 13 of Dwayne Vinton's got substantial damage. Scott Simley's got some damage. My goodness, what a wreck. That was a huge one.
Yeah, it looks like the 23 and the 18 may have been where it began, entering 3.
Yeah, it happened way up in front of some of these guys. And you're right, that was the 23 of Josh Parker. He got into the 18, it looks like, a little bit there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
looks like
got into Donnie Leah. Hit him hard in that bumper. And then just kind of got everybody else involved that was, oh man, a bunch of good cars. Lockhart was involved, Dwayne Vincent, like I said, the 52 car was involved. Sean Casto, just so many good cars wiped out in this one. So we're going to have to let this cycle through, folks. But look at this. We got a lot of takers on pit road.
oh yeah,
none
not
of
something I would
leaders.
have expected.
None of the leaders, though. Looks like everybody in the top 10 stayed out. So, a lot of these guys are going to have fresh tires. Well, not just the top 10, it looks like. But let's see who comes out the pits first.
I mentioned about maybe Ben would be able to stay or be behind some of that craziness there, and sure enough, I think he was able to get through that clean. I think he might be up into the top 20 now after that's all said and done.
Yeah, I'm
So
still.
have to wait
I'm
for it to
sorry.
cycle.
I'm not ignoring you. I'm still waiting for this scoring to update. The scoring sucks.
Yeah, so
sometimes.
we'll have to wait till next time by. But yeah, I mean, the obvious one though are the top 10. At least the top 10 did not stay out, or he stayed out, I should say. So you'll still have Daniel Fockingham, Nick Cohan, Anthony DeBarro, Justin Fuller, David Comstock. Mitch Rolo's up to the 6th position now. All right, so it sounds like Adam Gilliland was the first one who exited the pits, and he is in the 20th position. So yeah, he is going to be a fair ways back.
So I'm looking back at the replay here, and it looks like the top 11, and let's see, then Chad Cole in 12th. So those guys all stayed out. So the top 12 stayed out, maybe 13th also. It looks like there were some guys playing games back there. So about the top 13 stayed out, and then everybody else went down pit road, and then you got some way back there back markers that pitted. So it's all jumbled up, basically, is what I'm trying to say, except for, you know, the guys that have been up front all night are still up front. So that's not going to change.
Yeah, it
Man,
looks
this is going
like
to be an interesting restart. This
Adam
really is.
Gilliland will be restarting in 19th after his pit stop. He took 4 tires there, but yeah, so Kevin Brown and Ben Kielkreis were in that most recent caution before this one. To say they'll be now 17th and 18th. So Ben was kind of not feeling too positive about maybe running top 30s, and say now he's up right up there in the top 20, and still, let's say, still plenty of time for things to happen.
Absolutely. And, you know, he's one of the guys that stayed out. So behind him, he's going to have a bunch of cars on fresh tires. And, you know, he's going to have to watch his back for that. But I am really going to be interested in seeing how some of the more aggressive drivers that are back here and pitted are going to handle this, because they've now got tires on their car that are a lot less laps older than the ones that are in front of them. You know, the last time any of these guys pitted was, what, lap 80, I think. So you're looking at 10, 12 laps on these tires. Granted, there's been a couple cautions in between there, but still, the aggression level could be a factor here, Gael.
Yeah, saying, I mean, you've seen some of those guys who were up front earlier, like Adam Gilliland and Bobby Wetzel. I mean, they're going to want to get back up to where they were. So they're going to have to, I'll say, they have to be aggressive. And unfortunately, that's usually who's our commentator at NBC, where aggressive goes around. So that's always a possibility there.
Absolutely. Now, I want to touch on this, though. Justin Hot Shoe Fuller has made his way up to 4th. So he's got that leader in his sights. And when he gets that leader in his sights, he becomes a whole new animal, I've noticed. He just, you know, his aggression level amps up a little bit, but he's able to really wheel that car. I don't know, just something about that guy. He just becomes a whole different driver when he gets up there inside that top 5. So here he is in 4th place. So that's somebody we're going to keep our eyes on, Justin Fuller at 51. Folks, the pace car has his lights off. And Gael, they're 2x2, so you know what that means, right?
It's go time.
That's right. It's go time, baby.
And so I'm curious to see about the two teammates with Nick and DeBarro. Say last time Nick was able to get past DeBarro from 3rd, so now I wonder if the DeBarro's going to kind of have the same potential here. So we'll see how they are, if they're able to work together as well.
Well, let's find out. I mean, you know, they're not in the ideal position to help each other out. So here we go. Pace car is off. He ducked down pit road there. Falkingham's going to bring him down to the box here. The green flag flies, but wow, he held him down to the last possible second to try and, I guess, mix those two teammates up there. Gets a really good jump out in front of him. Those guys are side by side. Fuller is thinking about taking it 3 wide through 1-2 on the outside there. He doesn't do it. However, that hesitation lets Comstock sneak by on the inside. Now look here, Fuller wants to take it 3 wide going down the middle of the backstretch. Like I said, look up front, we got to fight for the lead with DeBarro tackling the inside line there inside of Falkingham. Can he make it stick? I don't know. He washes up a little bit there. And then we got 3 wide behind him for second with Fuller back. Oh, my gosh, I don't even know where to start.
Yeah, they're all over the place. It was a pretty similar deal where the 3rd place car is able to get the advantage. I'd say now you got 3 wide for 3rd place here. They got to be careful.
Comstock drove it in there, but just didn't have anything for it. He's going to lose 2
trouble
spots
on the
because
back
of that.
stretch. It's looking like yellow, yep.
And you heard it, folks. We've got another caution on the track.
It's like the 43 of Doug Roth, and I think, well, it's going to be like we talked about those new tires. Looks like the 43 and the 81 looks like they may have gotten together off of turn 2.
Well, it looks to me like this started on the front stretch. No, I take that back. This started in 3 and 4. And it looks like, wow. I don't know how far back you can go, Aaron, but you've got to go back almost a lap before this happened. Well, I'll describe what I'm looking at. It looks like coming off a 2 on that restart, Gilliland ducked down the inside of the 93 car of Kevin DeBrown, took them 3 wide going through 3 and 4 right here with Doug Roth on the outside, Brown in the middle. He washed up, tapped Brown a little bit, jumped in front of him. Brown came down with a crossover move, brought them back to 3 wide, coming across the front stretch with Roth on the outside, Gilliland in the middle, and DeBrown down there on the inside. They're going down through 1 the same order, 3 wide. DeBrown backs out. However, Roth doesn't. Gilliland slides up in front of him, so Roth says, okay, bam, hits his bumper. Unfortunately, though, he lost control of his car and involved a few more cars in his spin there, and that's what I saw, folks.
Yeah, so it's just, again, they were trying to get everything they could out of those new tires right off the bat, and did not did not end well.
No, it didn't. That was aggression, pure and simple. Gilliland was aggressive, like he has to be. He's trying to get his way back up the front. Roth didn't like it, and unfortunately resulted in a spin with several more cars damaged that already weren't already damaged, and some that already were. In the meantime, you know who's loving all these cautions right now is the guys up front that have not pitted in a while. Their tires get a chance to cool off. They're definitely saving fuel here. Oh, wow, that Tabasco car is just ate up right there, man. That's so sad to see because, I'm South Louisiana, man. I live 15, 20 minutes away from the Tabasco plant, and Dwayne Vincent's a buddy of mine, lives 10 minutes from me, and his car is all tore up. But anyway, so yeah, these guys up front, they're loving this.
Yeah, say they'll be a little bit more aggressive, and so I'm trying to see based on tires. It looks like EJ and Kevin in 14th and 15th have about 6-lap fresher tires, and then Tommy Ryan and right behind them in 16th place, he's got even fresher than them. He's got about 6 more lap fresher. So, I mean, he's got about 12 lap fresher tires than the leaders. I mean, he's in 16th obviously, and there's been a lot of cautions unfortunately. So, probably not going to be as beneficial as he'd like to see, like if versus being 12 green flag laps. But yeah, so it's going to be, I'm saying again, the two teammates of DeBarro and Cohen, they kind of switch spots again, so they'll be second and third, but again in reverse order. So,
well, don't look now, but Mitch Rollo has moved up to 5th spot.
He is, I'll say slowly but surely, he's working his way up.
Well, we've got Mitch up in the booth. Let's talk to him about his run so far. Mitch Rollo, John up in the booth. You got your ears on, buddy?
Yeah, I got you.
My goodness, my friend, you're having a hell of a night tonight. You've dodged all this chaos around you. You've worked your way up from 20th to 5th, man. Right now, you're our hard charger of the night. How's it feel?
Feels good. The setup's just ridiculously tight in traffic, so the further to the front I get it, the better it feels. So we'll see what we can do here. We're pretty close on fuel. I'm hoping we won't have to come back down again. But if we do, it is what it is. But we're going to do our best to try and pull this one off tonight.
I got good news for you. You've only got about 39 laps left to go, and you should be really close, but you should be good, even with the green-white checkered. So good luck. We're going to let you get back to it. But, man, congratulations on that run so far. Do you think you got anything for those guys up in front of you?
I don't know. Time will tell. I haven't really been up front enough to know whether I'm close on speed. We've been kind of getting caution after caution here lately, but hopefully we'll get a long run, see what we can do.
Well, there you have it, folks. That's Mitch Rollo. Not only is he our very own Mitch Rollo, producer guy, but he's also right now the only Ford driver up in the top 10 of this race. So he's hoping to put that blue oval in victory lane tonight. Good luck, Mitch.
Thanks, man.
And that was Mitch Rollo, driver of the 96 Ford Mustang. I can't even see who it's sponsored by right now, but we'll get to that in a minute.
Sim Speed Shop.
Sim Speed Shop. Thank you very much. He's got a white car for some reason on my screen, and I've been trying to get an update for a while.
Something interesting here. I just noticed Daniel Falkingham took the outside on this start. He's been running the bottom on his last ones. Yeah, he took the outside this time which puts
that was a mistake.
Well, I don't know. Actually, I kind of like the idea of. I mean, again, DeBarro and Cohen have to kind of react to him, but so now they're both on their own lane, whereas he's got Fuller right behind him. So we'll see. I say it could wind up. It could be a benefit. It could wind up burning him, but it seems like he's been doing really well with that middle line because that bottom line just can't get that momentum on the exit. And I think that's kind of what he's thinking at this point.
And you've got a very valid point right there, guy. I didn't consider it that way. I just see these two teammates that have been rocking it all night on restart. So we'll find out. I think you're right, though. I think Falkingham will be okay up on there on outside. But the wild card is Justin Hot Shoe Fuller back there in 4th place in that 51. We've seen him be super aggressive on these restarts. The pace car ducks down the pit road. We're going to see how slow Falkingham gets these guys going here. Boom, he takes off right there, catches them off guard again, And look at that, man. He really did a good job splitting those two teammates up. They don't know how to react to his starts there, Gael.
Yeah, he did another good start. And saying Fuller got a really good restart as well. So I think he might be able to stick to the outside of. I'm gonna say, Tabaro also got a good start. He's gonna work to the inside, but this is where it happens. Though, is he can get to the inside, but then it's just he can't keep the power down on exit.
Yeah, that's why Falkingham's really not going to be too much worried about him down there on the inside, especially through 3 and 4. It's so much easier to drive this car to the high side up there. In the meantime, wow, look at that boy. He just zips down across the nose of DeBarro, makes him check up a little bit. That's going to give Fuller a chance to duck down the inside on 1 and 2, kind of in the middle, really. Forces DeBarro way up high there, and we'll see if he can maintain that momentum coming off of 2 right here down on the inside. He does. Slips up in front of DeBarro right there, put Fuller to second spot, DeBarro back to third. In the meantime, Rolo's got his hands full with Timothy Johnson at 28th, and we got another caution on track.
Yeah, so everybody's just getting really aggressive here. So trying to see who had involved. It may have been Jose Gonzalez in the 26 car. I'm trying to see who else was in there.
It
Yeah.
looks like it was Gonzalez and Donnie
our
Lee
own
again, and oh no, Ben
Kilcrease.
Kilcrease.
And I think this was a bump draft gone wrong. We'll load the replay up here, though.
Yeah, I hate to say this, Ben, but you wrecked your teammate, buddy. Oh yeah, he bump drafted in the wrong spot right there. Turned him up into Leah, who came down and got into Rivera, and I think those were the only folks involved.
Yeah, so I say nothing malicious. Just tried to help his teammate out and just didn't hit him square like we talked about. I mean, this track is bumpy enough on its own, so just that little extra nudge just didn't quite get him square, and yeah, just unfortunate. Nothing malicious or anything like that. Just I've done things like that before, so I can't judge.
Well, again, this falls into the hands of the leaders. They're enjoying this, and this break from the action, letting their tires cool off, it gives them more time to, just clutch this vehicle and save all the fuel they can. And again, they all stay out. So really, it's just all your I guess, 12th on back is going to pit and take tires. I didn't realize this, but man, look at the damage on Jatina's car. He got involved in one of those wrecks, and he's missing his whole front end.
Oh, yes, he is.
I didn't even realize that. There's a lot of messed up cars in this field.
Yeah, now. It was one of the earlier ones. We're trying. Oh, so I'm trying to find out when it happened. Oh, it was that wreck off of 2 with the 43.
Fixed after all.
Well, let's have a word with Mr. Jatina real quick. Joey, this is John up in the booth. How you doing, bud?
Hey, man, what's up?
Well, I'm looking at the front of this car that I painted for you, brother, and you dented it a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know, man. We took tires there on that last stop or caution and felt pretty good about it. Just I don't know. I heard another car ran over another car and nothing we could do.
Oh, so all this damage happened on that last one, huh? Well, man, you were looking pretty strong. I mean, I've been watching for the race, and you're kind of hanging back there, just taking care of your stuff and trying to keep the fenders on it. Just sorry to see you running like this, man. It really is. What do you got left for the night? You gonna try and finish it out?
Hanging on, man. Just a big parachute.
I understand that, brother. Well, look, be safe, and hopefully we'll finish this thing out and get you a halfway decent finish with a wrecked car.
Thanks for all y'all do.
All right, brother. Good night and good luck. Well, that's Joey. I wasn't going to bother him too much. He sounds pretty dejected, and I tell you what, I feel bad. That's another one I feel bad for. Not just the fact that he's kind of like the founder and head honcho here, but it's like he just can't get a break. He's had a streak of top 10s going for a while, and as soon as we addressed it here on the broadcast, it ended because he got in a wreck. It seems like since then he just gets caught up in other people's stuff so much,
Yes, I think one of the Friday the Midnight Thunder ones that I run with these guys, I think unfortunately he got caught up in one of my messes. So I talked to him afterwards. I was feeling pretty bad about it too because I know he's been having some bad luck. So I had talked to him. I was like, yeah, sorry to add to your troubles there.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate thing, but Joey's a pretty solid guy, man. He's good people, as we say down here. But back to the front leaders, man. I just can't get over this. Fuller, I mean, he's something else, he's, I tell you what, let's see if I can find him. I'd like to pull him up here. Is he in TeamSpeak?
I'm not sure, but he's usually a pretty amusing interview.
Yes, I found him. Let's talk to him real quick. They go on one go? Let's see here. If they go 1 to go, we're not going to do it. But if they don't,
We are
lights are
1 to
off.
go. Let's let them be.
All right, well, we'll catch him next time, maybe. If there is a next time. I'm hoping this thing goes green for a little while, but, oh, wow, someone just went flying down pit road. Was that Jose?
No, it's Donnie Leah.
Well, Leo was doing about 100 down pit road, man. I wonder what that's all about. Trying to beat the pace car off, I guess.
Yeah, he was trying to beat the pace car out. I think he hit about 115 there.
It's an end of line penalty, so he'll be okay, I guess. But wow.
I think if you go that fast, you get a black flag or something like that. So.
Oh, a green flag. Pit
yeah,
stop there?
green flag. Yeah, we'll see what happens. I'll say. Well, I'll try.
Well,
to keep
he's
an eye out,
also
see.
pretty angry right now too. So
Yeah.
we'll just leave him alone for a little while.
Yeah, let's let him be.
Yeah, we're stacked up 2 by 2 now. This time, Falkingham's got Fuller to his outside, which is not. If I'm Falkingham, I'm taking that outside lane away from Fuller. That's just me. But you got the teammates down the inside. You got Comstock on the outside. You got Johnston up there. You got Rollo back there in what is he in 7th now? You got Coleman in the 20 car. You got Edson. There's another one we usually talk about running up front, but he's finally made his way up there. So this should be a really good restart right here. And lap 104, we got coming in 105. Will be 30 laps to go right here. If this stays green, it should be exciting. Pace car ducks off on the pit road there. And once again, Falkham lags back a little bit. Then he jumps out there. Green flag rolls. Not quite the restart he was looking for. Doesn't pull as far ahead of Fuller as he has in the past. Fuller's got some help from Comstock on that outside, but he's not going to be able to do anything with it. It doesn't look like. DeBarro's down there on the inside. I don't know if he's going to pull that pass off or not. No, he's not, but look at how fast they catch the leader right there. Falkingham ducks up to the outside, kind of trying the line away from Fuller. Gets him a little tap in the bumper. And, oh, wow, Fuller got a little loose and got a tap from Comstock there. Wow, Gael. This was lacking excitement right there, man.
That worked out really well for DeBarro and Cohen. That lets them to get back up to 2nd and 3rd and kind of start trying to do some more teamwork on their side of things. However, I'll say a little further back, I thought I saw 3-way there for a moment with Trey Edson. Oh my goodness, there's so much happening right now. Oh, and yeah, they're pushing really hard right now.
There's a lot of bumping going on back here as they come down the back stretch. We got another caution. Are you kidding me?
And so I'll take a look. Looks like it was towards the back with the 15 and the 17. And may have been net code on that one.
It looks like it was, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like the 17 went try to get underneath the 15. I mean, he started sliding up a little bit, but I don't think they had actually made contact.
The 2 of them. That was net code. That's unfortunate. I mean, that really is unfortunate.
The 15
man.
Almost had it saved, just got a little bit behind on his steering, and that's what did it.
And he slid up in front of everybody, too, but I think everybody missed him. Did they? Yeah. Woo, that could have been bad. This guy, Brendan Kohler, needs to be silenced. I'm tired of seeing that.
Is he even racing? I'm trying to
look
through.
He's spotting for Shane Ewing. But
let's see. So I'll say now it changes again. So now we've got Falkingham still leading, but then you've got DeBarro and Cohen 2nd and 3rd again. So see if they can do some teamwork here.
Well, we got some takers for pit road a little closer up to the front this time. Let's see who that was. Oh no, that's Brian Wertman. He's a few laps down. Never mind, my bad. He was just up there with the leaders.
Actually, I think. No, actually, you know what I think with those cautions, I think he may be back on the lead lap here, so he can try to see what he can make happen here on his end. You're
right. He is in the lead lap. Look at that. Good for Brian, man.
I was saying he's got a really clean-looking car still too. So.
Oh, he keeps it out. He keeps it out of trouble. He's really good about that. Staying out of the way. He lets leaders by, no issues, and he sees a faster car coming, he gets way out of the way. I like Brian a lot. He's a great guy, and he's living the dream, man. He's running around with the NASCAR group on the weekends, living the dream, man. Going to these races live and hanging out with the drivers and stuff. So I like Brian a lot. He's a good guy. But, I hope Joey sees what this jackass is. Sorry, folks. I get a little passionate about my racing. And when I see jackasses like this dude just in there talking crap, it just burns my ass a little bit, man. Y'all probably can't see it on the broadcast, but I get... it upsets me. I'm sorry. But anyway. So, about this race, Gael, what you think, man?
Well, I'll say we were they did really well early on with the green flags, and then of course, as you get the later to the end of the runs, I'll say just with how aggressively you can drive these cars and how you almost have to drive these cars, it's just yeah, unfortunately, it's just kind of caused people to start getting into
Well,
each other
that's
some
actually
more.
that's not entirely true. I mean, 2 of these have been netcode resulting. I mean, that's not something we can control, unfortunately. For those of you that are joining us tonight that don't understand what netcode is, which I can't understand why you wouldn't know that by now, but in iRacing, sim racing in general, but in iRacing particularly, sometimes the server says a car is in one place when the client or the driver's car actually sees it in another place, and that results in a collision box deviation that we call netcode, basically. Even though visually they never touched, the computer, the server saw that they did, and that causes a wreck. And unfortunately, that's a very common problem we have in iRacing. They've done some things to try and adjust for it, but unfortunately, there's just no way around it. It's internet racing, man. It's at least it's not as bad as it was in dial-up days. And Falkingham's dropping to the back. What's going on here?
Well, I'll say he won't. Well, there he goes.
He must have missed the start button. I've done that a couple of times.
I'll say
You
that.
talk about panicking too, man.
Yeah, no, I've done that where I flip the ignition switch or something like that, and then I can't get it back on right or whatever it is, and yeah. So the only I was saying that's one thing that I actually kind of not because of this, but just in general, would love to see. Like you, I mean, you've seen the races like at Sonoma where the leader was trying to save fuel.
Wasn't that Allmendinger that did that?
I think it was, and couldn't. No, it was Ambrose.
No,
Ambrose,
it was
yeah.
Ambrose. You're right. It was Marcus
And
Ambrose.
couldn't
Yeah.
get it refired, and they wouldn't give him a spot back. And so, I mean, you've
Yeah.
seen that before, and so it's kind of what I've seen where you'll see someone pull off and be like, "Oh, I'll be right back," and then they jump back and take their spot again. And it's like, if you can't hold your,
If you
however,
can't hold pace speed, man, I mean, you're right. But unfortunately, iRacing hasn't addressed that yet, which I really wish they would, because it would also save a lot of these black flags people get when you have a big wreck on track and there's a guy so damaged he can't keep up, but everybody trying to get around and get to the pits, and even black flag, but that's neither here nor there. And producer Aaron has fussed at me for talking about things that don't pertain to this race, so I'm gonna stop doing that. So, Gael, here we go. The lights are off in the pace car. These guys are stacked up 2 by 2. Falkingham's on the outside this time. Good choice. He's got the teammates down in front of him. We've already seen, though, down on the inside with Falkingham controlling the lead on the outside. These guys cannot keep up with it.
yeah, so, I mean, they might be able to get the runoff of 2 where they can get it's basically they can get their nose underneath them, but they just can't clear them cleanly, and I think that's what it's going to take at this point. So, I mean, they might try to time the start on him. We'll see. That's obviously a risk versus reward.
Look at him. Look at him. He's playing games with. I'm sorry. I don't mean to cut you off, but he's lagging back again. And DeBarro kind of got out in front of him a little bit there, and he's doing it again now. Just, that's what you do as a leader when you're on these restarts. You just play these mind games with these guys.
That was a really good restart, though, for Justin Fuller in 4th place, though. However, I say the 2 teammates still got it lined up pretty well together. As you see Falkingham protect the bottom immediately there entering 3 and 4, but I think you'll still see DeBarro make a push here for the bottom and try to see what he can do in entering 3. But just they got to be so careful with this bump drafting in the backstretch. It's just, I mean, they know how to do it, but man, it's so easy to get it wrong.
It is, but look at how big of a push he gave Falkingham going down through 3 and 4. Pushed him out in front of DeBarro right there. In the meantime, Fuller's going to duck down the inside of DeBarro, going through the tri-oval down into 1 and 2 to try and take second spot back away from DeBarro. I think that might have been a mistake at this time in the race. That outside lane's where it's at, and look at that, DeBarro pulls easily in front of him. In the meantime, Cohan takes the momentum he got coming off of 2, tries to pull down the inside of Fuller to take 3rd spot away, and he's out in front of him. If he slides up, he might be able to take it. But he washes up too far, so Fuller ducks back down the inside, and another caution. Man.
Yeah, so unfortunately these cautions all seem to be happening towards the back, too. So I'll take a look here what happened on this one. I think, unfortunately, Joey Gittino was in on this one as well.
Oh, he's not
no.
going to be happy.
I think there's a couple incidents that were going on. Yeah, there's more than one thing that happened here.
Yeah, it looks like it started with the 4 up here,
yeah,
maybe?
it's like the 4. Yeah, the 4 and the 90, or the 4 and the 22.
No, that's the 98.
Oh, that's the 98. I'm sorry. Yeah, I think that's what I'm seeing.
Well, actually,
here.
it's car. Wow.
I think so. I may have
Steve
happened.
Herring. I'm sorry. Yeah, Steve Herring in the 98 car got into that left rear corner panel. Sorry. Yeah, left rear corner panel, just a little bit of the 4.
That's
Sent
about
him around.
Yeah, say if there was more even before that. In 1 and 2, the 34 and the 24 got together in 1 and 2. They were able to save it.
But that bunched
and
everybody
stayed
up.
green, but everybody lost so much momentum and just people were at way different speeds and just kind of snowballed from there.
Looks like Joey got caught up in that, and maybe the 3 car as well, because Coleman just retired from the race.
Yeah, there's some cars that got pretty roughed up on that one.
That's unfortunate. I mean, but it is part of racing, And what it looks like is like Joey just locked his brakes up trying to avoid all that and got loose, and then Lockhart came down and finished him off. But man, that's aggression at this time of the race is not unheard of. And I'm not going to say that's what happened there. I'm not saying it was somebody specific's fault, but that's what happens when you get this late in the race. Lap 114 out of 134. We're going to be coming to 20 to go here shortly. Probably go back to green with about 18 or 19 to go. And the aggression is just going to get much, much higher, I think, on these last stages of this race. Now, we've got a little bit of a change up here up front, Gael. You've got Falkingham still in the lead, but you've got DeBarro and Cohan second and third with Fuller back there in fourth again. I'm kind of wondering, do you think Cohan goes with that top line again?
Yeah, I mean, it seems like it's been working okay.
Not Cohan, I'm sorry, Falkingham.
I think Falkingham might still stay with the top there. He's been kind of switching at every other yellow, it seems like. But it seems like he prefers keeping those two teammates lined up together. That way they can't maybe team up on him, kind of a thing. Like if one tries to force him high, or one tries to get to his outside, one to his inside, kind of a thing, and force him three. That way they can be forced kind of to stay on the bottom, and he knows if he kind of hold that middle line well, he can make it happen there. So he's been doing a really good job on these, on pretty much every restart that he's had the lead of, just kind of doing just enough to hang on to that lead once the tires get not up to pressure, but the car gets up to speed, and then that way they can't run that full throttle on the bottom line, even though with these shorter runs the tires still have a fair bit of wear to them. But at the same time, you never know. They might have some tricks up their sleeve and say you still got Fuller there in fourth, Comstock's in fifth. You mentioned Trey Edson. He's been able to work his way up to seventh. And then, Tim Johnson's made a really good recovery to get back up into the seventh position. Sorry, Trey was in sixth.
Mitch is still up there.
Mitch is up to eighth, yeah.
He just loses spots on the restarts because he's always in the wrong area of the restart. He'll lose maybe one or two, and then a caution comes out, so he's lost those spots before he can get them back, poor guy.
Yeah, so if he can, I think if he can hang on to a solid top 10 finish, I think he'd be pretty content with that, especially if he can maybe make a couple gains towards the end of the run. But I'll say at this point, I kind of, if I was in his position, if I could just survive this thing without getting wrecked out, I'd be pretty happy.
Well, folks, while we're under caution real quick, I just want to pull our producer up in here and introduce you guys to Aaron, who's also done a couple of broadcasts while I was absent. Aaron, you there?
Yeah, I got you, John. How you doing?
I'm doing great, buddy. How you doing down there in the van? You got all the snacks you need or what?
Man, it's hot, man. We need to get this over with.
Yeah, amen, brother. It's Kentucky in the middle of summer. Well, look, man, I just wanted you to say hi to the folks up here and introduce yourself and just say hi. Come hang out.
I hope everybody's enjoying the show. Hopefully we can keep it green and give you a better show to the end.
Well, amen on that, man. Well, look, why don't you keep getting us these awesome pictures you've got going on, man. You're doing a great job tonight, buddy.
10-4, man. Thanks.
Well, there he was, folks. The one, the only Aaron Grotzkoff, our producer, who brings you these fantastic images. He's doing a great job. I remember when he first started doing this, we talked about a nervous Nelly Gael. He was about to poop himself at the time of things, seems like.
So yeah, once you get into it, I say that was me too. I was super nervous the first one. I say I'm way more comfortable with it now. Say real quick before you go green, I noticed the 51 and the 42 have a little bit of nose damage. I think just from that really rough bump drafting here before we get this restart.
That'll do it.
Falkingham's got the top side on this restart again, so we'll see how it goes here.
Here we go. The pace car is off. Falkingham's up on the outside. Now look at Fuller. Sorry.
That was a really good start by Fuller.
It was. He tried to get up there on that outside line and just try and blow by Falkingham, I guess, any chance he could. Look at him. Fuller. That's what I love about this guy, man. He wants to win every race. He's out there to win every race. None of this laying back crap. In the meantime, though, that's going to give DeBarro a chance down there on the inside, but Fuller's got a good head of steam coming off of turn two, going down the backstretch, and sends it into three, kind of like in the middle right there. DeBarro's down that inside. I don't think DeBarro's going to make anything happen down there. He's going to wash it up to Fuller, though. He's going to have to get out of the throttle or wreck himself, one or the other. So we're going to come down the tri-oval here. Head of steam given to Fuller. He's going to give him that second spot right there. Now Edson's up there on the back bumper of Fuller, pushing him out in front of DeBarro through turn 1 and 2. You know who's loving this is Falkingham back there. He's looking at that mirror and saying, yes, you guys, please go ahead and race it like that. And look at that, boom, just like that. We've got the first two pulling out way ahead of the guys in third and fourth. Edson's tied up with, Edson gets turned a little bit there. He saves it, but that is really going to bottleneck. And we got a 5-wide run behind him coming at him fast. Wow, what a save. That was an amazing save by Edson in that 40 car. I mean, and it's still going on back here. Now we got like 4, 5, 6 cars all bottled up with him, but he's still going. But man, I mean, that just really kind of packed up the whole pack behind the leaders here, back here in, I guess I'm looking at like 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, like basically 13th through 20th is all. Oh, and we got not a spin. He saves it. Another good save. He's still trying to hang on to it. My goodness, man, the aggression levels. We talked about that, Gael. It's just going to be so aggressive right now through the end of this race.
Oh my goodness! I'll say we have two amazing
saves. That was a
saves.
brilliant save by Casta.
I'll say this one by Casta, and before that one by I can't remember the names anymore. Trey Edson.
It was Edson. Trey
These
Edson,
guys are just.
Well, in the meantime, I mean, wow, Fuller and Falkingham have stepped out to over a second lead over Cohan and DeBarro. And if those two want to be a part of this lead, this lead fight, they're going to have to get together, work together, and literally draft like you would at Talladega or Daytona to catch these guys up in front of them, because they are losing ground constantly here, it looks like. I mean, and they're not even together. I mean, Cohan's got a 2.5, 3 car length lead over DeBarro. But in the meantime, up front, those two are pretty much nose to tail. And, you got to kind of wonder, is Fuller going to stay like that and just help, get themselves separated even more from third and fourth? That'll give him a better. Oh, never mind. We've got another caution on track.
And unfortunately, I think this time it looks like Sean Castro may have been involved in it again. This time he just not able to hang on to this one. So I'm trying to take a look here.
The apron got him. The apron's not your friend
he touched
down
the
there.
apron off of 4. Yeah, so we'll take a look on the replay here. Just touched the apron 3 and 4, and that's just enough to send him around. Yep. So he was able to still save it, but just it was enough for he went around enough for it to throw the caution.
Yeah. When the flag man can look up and see the door number, he throw the flag every time. Promise you. But
so
that was another great save, though.
This was a longer run. This wasn't like one of those one lap and then park it or a caution type things.
Yeah.
So you might see some pit stops here with some of the top 15.
I don't know, man. If I'm Falkingham, I'm hating this because now, I got a feeling that Fuller and those guys are going to do the exact opposite. So if Dan stays out, they're going to pit. But if he pits, they're all staying out. Either way, I hate seeing late race cautions like this as a leader. I really do, especially when we've been out on tires and fuel for so long.
Yeah, you might be right. So let's see, because we're at lap 123 right now. So I mean, so we'll restart within 10 to go. Yeah, it's probably not worth pitting if you're up front at this point. I think you got the track position. I did notice that Tommy Ryan's up to 7th from 33rd. He's definitely been. They're faking.
No, some people went in. Mitch duped them.
It just depends if there's a lot of people.
Oh wow!
I say we just gotta see who all stayed out too, though. Let's say so. It looks like we've got. Yeah, so DeBarro's the first to enter the pits here. We'll see how he cycles out once it finishes here. And we'll see if DeBarro takes 2 or 4. Comstock's in. Timothy Johnston's in.
So, by my count, the top 24 stayed out. Well, not the top 24, but the last car not pitting is a 24th place car. So, all those guys that pitted will be coming out 25th and deeper. Or, no, that's not right either. I should just... Thank you, Aaron. You're the one with the live updates there. So...
Yeah, we'll let it cycle through to make sure.
Yeah.
But so DeBarro's definitely the first, though. He took 4. So we'll see how he's able to cycle out. I was trying to see who else pitted in there. Ben Kilcrease was in there, pits as well. Tim Johnston, David Comstock, Chad Cole. I was saying, it looks like everybody who did pit took 4 tires here. I don't see. Well, actually, I think I see a couple. There might be.
But that leaves Cohan all by himself up there with no teammate.
Yeah, there will be no more team assistance on this one, so But at the same time, yeah, it didn't seem like that teamwork was enough to make it happen there. And
No, it
then,
really wasn't.
and like you mentioned, I mean, now Mitch is up in the 4th position, and if Fockingham takes the top side on this restart, he could be in a really good spot too if he can get that restart timed well enough.
And Mitch is still the only Ford in the top 10. The next Ford is in, let's see, it looks like 11th place, Nick Thames. And then you got Kevin DeBrown back there in 12th. So Ford's not making a very strong appearance tonight.
They've had good recoveries though of those two though from being involved in a couple
Yes,
incidents to
absolutely.
be there in the top 11. And then yeah, so it looks like DeBarro is going to restart in 19th unless somebody else pits here. Like I noticed, I mean, I did see that Sean Cass was staying out still. I kind of figured he would have pitted just with everything he's gone through, but at this point he's still hanging out there.
And I think the lights are going to go off this time, Gael, which means we're going to go back to green with about 8 to go.
That sounds about right. I'm trying to take a look here on tires and everything too. We mentioned earlier Brian Wertman. He's up to the 16th position. He's only got 12 laps on his tires, so
Wow.
He's still sitting in a really good spot with his
absolutely.
car. So if you can just try to keep some track position there, like I said, like you mentioned, he races really clean and usually kind of tries to give leaders the room and stuff like that. But he'll have to try to step up the aggression a little bit. And yeah, sure enough, looks like 39 is going to take the top on this restart here. So that's going to put Mitch Rollo right behind him.
Yeah, but he's got hot shoe down the inside right there. That's got to make you a little nervous, just a little bit.
I mean, they've been racing each other really. I've been really impressed with the way the leaders have been racing really hard, but still clean. Like like we mentioned earlier, I mean, Cohan or DeBarro, they could have easily just slid right into the door of Fockingham to take the lead away. But they're racing hard, but they're racing clean, giving room. If they got a lift out of it, they've been doing that. So props to them for that. I've been impressed with how aggressive but clean these guys up front have been fighting.
Absolutely, and here we are, 2x2x2. Pace car's lights are out, and we're going to go back to green on lap 127, which is going to leave us 8 laps to go. 8 laps, Gael, to get this show finished up, and I'm hoping it goes green all the way. I don't want to see a green-white checkered. I want to see these guys race it out as they are right now under green.
Yeah, it'd be really exciting because I also want to see what these new tires can do. I mean, it's a really good potential that they could get easily into the top 10 with these brand new tires. So hopefully they can keep it green, and we'll see what kind of show these guys put on.
Well, here we go. The pace car is about to duck off down there on pit road, and that's going to leave the restart in the hands of Daniel Fockingham up there on the outside line. We've seen it all night long on his restarts. He's been dominating up there on that outside line, able to control the start, as you will, and there he goes. It's a real good start right there. Kind of leaves Mitch all by himself. In the meantime, Tommy Ryan's bump drafting 21 Nick Cohan. Cohan pulls that up into the Fuller, and they're going to go 3 wide now for second place. Fuller on in the middle, Cohan down low, and Mitch Rollo up there on the high side. Mitch is going to ease out a little bit and duck in behind Fuller to third spot. They're going to try and power by the 21 down there on the inside. They're going to draft their way up to Fockingham, but not quite to his bumper. Fuller's going to sit it down 3 and 4 on the inside, coming out through forward to the tri-oval, put Nick Full. Oh, wow! He slipped in front of Rollo. Rollo did not lift at all and sent Fuller down to the inside. Fuller saves it, comes back up on the track, though. He's going to lose a ton of spots right there. In the meantime, Rollo is still fighting for second spot with Nick Cohan down there in the 21. Gael did not see that coming from Mitch Rollo at all.
No, I don't think it was at all intentional. I'm trying to look at the speed that he had. Yeah,
there's nothing you can do at this point in the race.
React. That was another really good save to hang on to that and not take out the whole field.
Oh, that's why I said earlier at the top of the show, man. These cars really are easy to save. If you're given the chance to save it by the other drivers, it's savable 9 times out of 10. But Fockingham loves that, man. He's got quite a good gap right now between himself and second place. So Mitch Rollo's up there in second. Right behind him, Tommy Ryan, somebody we haven't spoken a whole lot about tonight, all the way up from 33rd spot to third place. You gotta love those kind of numbers.
Yes, and he's got about 12 lap fresher tires than those 2 in front of him. Again, it might be a lot of yellow caution laps, but still, I mean, any little bit helps. And then I've been looking at the new tires. You got Timothy Johnston. He's now up to the 11th position with those new tires. So it's saying DeBarro's 13th, Comstock 14th. So they're making really good gains. They may not get back to where they were, but still, I mean, that's a huge.
Another caution's coming out, and we might see the only green-white checker now. Let's see where that one was at.
Yeah, take a look here on the back stretch.
Yeah, it looks like it started with Scott Stenzel. And he got some, well, they were 3 wide coming off of 2, which is never good. He washed up a little bit into the 28 car of Johnson out there on the outside and got DeBarrow involved in that. So pitting kind of bites those 2 guys right there pretty badly. That's unfortunate. You know, the rest was Cole in it? Oh, man, I didn't realize that. Fuller was almost in it. Yeah, Cole got a tap on the inside there. Man, I tell you what, that's a bunch of guys that pitted and probably wish they hadn't now.
Yeah, so there's a few. I say Chad Cole doesn't look like he's in too bad of shape. I mean, he was unfortunately still a fair bit towards the back. So I'm trying to take a look at his car right now. Yeah, he was able to get to the inside wall, then actually use the pit access road to get through there.
Yeah, I saw that. That's a really good move on his behalf. So he's probably got very little, if any, damage at all from that. But still, this is going to set us up, Gael, for, I believe, a green-white checkered, because we're on lap 131 right here, coming to lap 132. And we should see the sign here shortly. There's going to be a green-white checkered. Now, remember, folks, the Sim500 group only does one of these. So, you know, once we do go green here, it's the next flag ends. And like my producer Aaron just said, so if it's the caution, oops. If it's the checkered, awesome. We'll see what happens here. We're going to take just a really quick station identification break real quick, 10 seconds. Leave it on corner. We'll be right back because I really need some water. Be right back. I'm sorry, folks. We had a little technical difficulty we're trying to deal with there. Here we are. I guess we're gonna see. This is lap 132, Gael. We're coming to lap 133 out of 134, and the pace lights are not off yet on the pace car. So you're definitely gonna get a green-white checkered here, which is why these guys all up front were saving fuel this entire time that they were. And there it is. This is the final caution. What we'll try for a green-white checkered finish. So next flag ends it, and I'll. Folks, if you thought things were crazy before this point, just watch what's about to happen now.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see what Daniel Falkingham's going to do here. He's been taking the top on the starts, which have been working well for him. My only hesitation is now he'd have Tommy Ryan, like we mentioned, with those 12-up fresher tires behind him. So I don't.
But is he aware of that also?
Ooh, that's a good point. Probably not.
So that could play into this also. I mean, if he's not aware of how much fresher those tires are, he could make the wrong choice here. But either way, I really don't think it's going to matter. I'm going to be honest with you because he's going to have Mitch Rollo up there with him. He got a strong car under 21 behind him. Got Edson in there also. So I think that Ryan's going to have his hands full, fighting with those guys as well. But it looks to me like maybe Falkingham's thinking about taking the inside here.
Yeah, I'll say he's kind of been changing. Like last second, he'll jump to the top or bottom. So I'm curious to see what he does here.
Well, he doesn't have to call it until 1 to go. So, I mean, he's got plenty of time to make up his mind.
I think we're going to go 1 to go right here, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. But it looks like he's going to plan on running the bottom. Yep.
He's taking that bottom line. So this ought to be really interesting. He's got those 12-lap fresher tires behind him. So that kind of covers his base there. But he's got to be able to beat that car and Rollo down into turn 1. So this is really going to be the restart of his life right here.
Yeah, saying Mitch's only chance right here is he's got to pretty much almost perfectly time the start, which is so hard. Like, I haven't had very many occasions to be up front with these guys in this league, but I'm not good at timing these restarts of the leaders. So Mitch might have to kind of guess a little bit and hope he gets it right. I said we saw Nick try to do that earlier in the race and didn't quite work out. But so, yeah, I mean, and it's also possible Falkingham might try to wait as long as he can to try to get those people to start anticipating it, have that little quick yellow, and then that ends the race right off the bat. So,
and I've heard of guys that have really figured out the timing on these tracks and where the green flag flies, and and what they can get away with and what they can as far as not passing the leader before a certain point. Um, and rumor has it Mitch might be one of those guys. So here we go. We're going to find out, man. They're coming through 3 and 4 now, folks. This is our green-white checkered finish here at the Sim500 Transervice Cup Series. And next flag ends it. So here we go. Pace car ducks down to pit road. And we're going to watch Falkingham. He's going to slow these guys down a little bit, hold them up as long as he can. And there goes the green flag right there. Wow, that was as long as I've ever seen it tonight. And boy, he got a great jump on Rollo in the 96. It's not that Rollo was sleeping there, Gael. It's just he has to wait for that leader to go.
Yeah, so you can try to time it, but it's such a risky thing to do. So at this point, though, say now these guys we mentioned, Tommy Ryan with those fresher tires, may not be able to get to his bumper. Say Mitchell's got a really nice push here from Nick Cohan. At this point, they just need to try to get that run on him, and this might be where you might see a slide job attempt happen.
Absolutely. We got a car in the wall coming down across the track behind them. Chad Cole is wrecking, but we're not going to go to caution because it's still green. This is the last lap right here, folks. We don't have to worry about people getting injured, so they're going to leave it to green right here. And I tell you what, Falkham's got a great one. The 09 car back there, Stanish washes up, gets into the wall coming off of 2, but he's out of the picture now. Meantime, up front, look at this run that Rollo's going to get coming down through 3 and 4 right here. Sends it into 3, too low, though, I think. He's going to lose a lot of momentum come off 4. He's going to wash up a little bit. Not quite have enough to get to the bumper of that leader. Buckingham takes his 4th win of the season. Meantime, they're wrecking behind him, but it's over with right there, folks. Buckingham first place. Mitt Trello gets home in 2nd, which is a great finish for him. And Nick Cohan's going to bring it home 3rd. They're still wrecking back there. That's great.
And huge props to David Comstock. He got back up to 4th after restarting there in the 20s. So
yeah.
dodging
all that mayhem for starters, So.
Yeah, Tommy Ryan 5th after starting 33rd, and then like you mentioned, our Mitch Rollo 20th to 2nd, and Nick Cohen was able to hang on to 3rd place position. Say he was in the run for it the whole time, just didn't quite have that track position he needed to control those restarts.
Well, folks, we're going to take a quick break and get ready for these top 3 interviews we got coming up for you in the post-race show. We're going to leave it on corner and a quarter so you can watch Daniel burn it down out there on the front stretch. We'll be right back. Stay tuned to the Sim Racing Network. We'll be right back.
All right, Watson, let's analyze the chemicals in this cigarette smoke. Cadmium?
Check.
Formaldehyde?
Check.
Arsenic?
Sir, isn't arsenic what they used in rat poison?
Yeah, isn't arsenic what they used in rat poison?
Oh, what was I thinking, sir? It's not like we're gonna smoke them.
Neither will the rats.
Tobacco is no joke. Cigarette smoke has over 7,000 chemicals. Learn more at thefactsnow.com.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
And welcome back, folks, to the Sim Racing Network's presentation of the Transervice Cup Series Sim500 Monday Night Race. We have concluded an exciting one. It got a little bit wrecky, as my co-host Gael said towards the end there. Unfortunately, we had a really great race going on, and then it just kind of devolved into a little bit of chaos there. But that's okay, man. It's over with. It's done. And we've got a top 3 to interview here. So if I'm not mistaken, Gael, you've caught up to our 3rd place finisher there, Nick Cohan.
Couldn't get by Mitch.
I have. So yeah, I was able to grab the number 21 Toyota Camry. A little curious of a offshoot of a sponsor there with Snickers, but
It's not
rebranded
Snickers.
to Nick Sucks. So, well, we'll have to ask about that as well. But I say, it looked like you and Anthony were working really well. I say, just unfortunately, just didn't have the control of the restarts at the end there to try to kind of keep you guys up front there.
Yeah, it was. It's difficult to try and get any advantage on any restart when you got 8 of the top 10 guys up here in the same team speak, pulling each other down, trying to make sure not a Dizzy Motorsports car wins. So it's how this car is anymore with all the aero and all that stuff, and it's like a super speedway race anymore. So we're just it's like 2 cars against 8. It's kind of hard to try and do anything, but we did the best I could. Just try to keep it out of trouble tonight. Need to keep racking up the points. Just really disappointed because this Nick Sucks Toyota Camry was fast tonight, and if I could have got back up front, I think I could have been able to hold him off. But just like Joey Logano Saturday night, I think the best car didn't win, but it's all right. Happy with the top 3 the way those wrecks were going there at the end. I'll take 3rd place. I'm happy with that, and congrats to Daniel. He did a good job on those restarts.
See, we were noticing there was also some pit lane shenanigans about who wanted to be where or not be where. So that's the first I've ever seen that in the Sim 500 series. Seen it all the time in Cup. I'll say, what I don't know if you guys were talking about that at all. That was a pretty interesting one on our side.
No, on my part, I didn't do any of that, so I don't know what I don't know what was going on with that. I was just, I had one bad pit stop, which gave me the lead, and that basically cost me the win. Slid through my box there and gave the lead to Daniel, and that was basically the last green flag run we had. So I really can't be mad at anybody else but myself. So it's tough the way this car is anymore. It's just very hard to pass. It's very hard to pull away from anybody, and it just makes it a lot harder to try and keep that lead when you are the lead car. It's just very, very hard, and the more the cautions are, the more harder it gets because you can't hold them off. And I think I did a good job of tire conservation tonight, but that doesn't play well when we only get 3, 4, 5 laps. So.
Yeah, say those first couple runs, you were definitely you had a really good long run car. We were able you were gapping some of the guys, but yeah, it just didn't go that way towards the end. But definitely want to give you the opportunity here while you have the moment to any thanks or shout outs you'd like to give.
Just shout out to all my teammates tonight. I know they had some bad luck there at the end. Just CG Automotive, and you guys for putting this all together and with the broadcast and league and everything. You guys do a good job.
All right, well, we appreciate it, sir. So that is the number 21 Nick Sucks Toyota Camry, driven by Nick Cohan. But I say he'll be one to be reckoned with the future races. Say there's plenty more to go the rest of the season. I think John might have the top 10 rundown here, or we may have already found second place. I'm not sure.
Yeah, we got Daniel up here. How you doing, Daniel? You're right. My bad.
There we go. Okay, yeah, sorry. I'm getting lost here on the pits here, and there we go. Okay, able to find the number 96 Sim Speed Shop Ford Mustang of Mitch Rollo. Say we didn't jinx you, so I want to mention that first. So I just want to take a moment. We talked about your good run, and it continued to stay able to get a second place finish here. So take us through your night.
Yeah, it was a really solid night. First of all, an incident with me and Fuller there coming down at the end of the race. I obviously didn't mean to wreck him. I don't like to drive people like that. It's just I wasn't expecting him to come up in front of me and couldn't get out of it in time, and we ended up getting together. But nonetheless, it was a really good run for the four. Let's try and talk once again here. It was a really good run for the Sim Speed Shop Ford Mustang tonight. We had a bad qualifying effort, started around 20th, and just slowly moved our way up through the field all race, and was able to bring it home P2. So, with the way my year's gone, I would usually be disappointed with a P2 and kind of hang my head a little bit, but definitely we're going in the right direction, so it's exciting.
Yeah, I mean, you were able to make your way pretty far up there, the order at the beginning of the race without those yellows. So we were commenting that you were, I think, the highest climber at that point, with just mostly green flag running. So yeah, nothing to hang your head on there. And then of course with the cautions, then at that point looked like it was more of a survival race for you.
Yeah, definitely. Down at the end of the race, it was unfortunate that it went that way. Yeah, I felt like I had a decent long run car tonight, so it would have been good to see that thing go green for a little while, see what I could have done, and maybe try and get by Daniel. But just the way that this package is, it's just so hard to race with all the dirty air. You gotta go where the other guy isn't, and if the guy that you're following is in the fastest part around the track, it's just hard to get around him. So, but we'll take it. We'll take second, and we'll move on to, I believe, New Hampshire next week, and see if we can't pull off a win there.
All right. Well, before we let you go, I want to give you a moment for any shout outs you'd like to give.
Yeah, huge thanks to Sim Speed Shop for coming on board the 96 this year. It's great to have them on board, and everyone at Crossover Incorporated. Ben, Jose, Kevin, Chad Cole, all those guys that help me out every week to try and get better and try and get faster. My girlfriend for letting me do these things. It's really nice having her blessing to do this, and definitely all you guys at Sim Racing Network for putting these broadcasts on. It'll be fun to go watch tomorrow.
He
All
says
right.
you guys like he's not a part of this.
I
Mitch!
know, right?
Well, it's just one of those things. All right, I'm I'm trying to be the
Oh, that's
driver
right.
right
You're
now.
race car driver Mitch tonight, not producer Mitch. I got you.
Exactly.
He's
Yeah.
got the helmet on, not the hat on.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I got you.
Good
Good run, Mitch. I'm sorry for interrupting the interview. I just want to say good run, man. I'm glad to see you finally shake that bad luck monkey off your back, brother.
I appreciate it, John. I appreciate it, guys. Thanks.
Now I need you to walk down pit road and go sit in Ben's seat or piss in his gas tank or whatever the hell you got to do to get that bad luck monkey off his back.
Yeah, no kidding. Hey, we'll try and get his luck turned
Oh
around
my
as well.
God, we got a Canadian A out of him.
Did I say A?
You
I don't
did.
even know, man. Well,
I've
it
been
happened.
trying for 5 years to get you to say that live on the air.
Well, heck yeah, eh? We'll just
All
try
right,
and
man.
we'll try and keep that rolling. Then, if I talk to you guys next week, you'll get another A, maybe.
Well, good run again, buddy.
Thanks, man.
Oh, we had too much fun here.
We
I'll
do.
say,
But that's what it's all about, having fun, right?
That's right. However, I think we have been able to come across a very happy Daniel Fockingham in victory lane, so I'm going to pass it over to John.
I've got Daniel, and I'm guessing he ain't just happy. He's probably bored with all this winning he's been doing, huh, Daniel?
No, never.
That's win number 6 for you in the season, man. Am I right?
Absolutely. I mean, I don't know what it is, but we've been on a tear lately. I mean, we've had a few bumps in the road, but yeah, we've been on a pretty good streak.
Well, I'll tell you what, it was an impressive race to watch tonight. You actually did come home with most laps led. It was real close for a while there between you and Cohan. He had 55, but you pulled it off in the last 3 laps. I believe the green-white checkered actually gave it to you, or you guys might have been tied there, but it was you with 58, him with 55, and then Comstock had 23, and that was it for just pretty much the 3 of you guys. So good job, man.
Yeah, thank you very much. I mean, after qualifying, I really wasn't expecting to win, to be honest, because just passing is so difficult, and especially with Kentucky when you don't got a lot of banking to lean on, and pretty much the main line to run is pretty much in the middle, because it's pretty smooth, but if you go up to the third lane, it's pretty bumpy up there too. So, but for whatever reason, I was able to get the bomb to work in 1 and 2. I don't know what it is, but just when no one was running down there, I decided to run down there right on the yellow line, and there was just so much grip down there. And there was so much grip on the bottom in 3 and 4 as well if you hit that right too. So you could definitely search around a lot right from the... I mean, I felt like for the first few laps, it was only like a 1-lane race, and then once the tires started to get some heat in them, started to get some wear on them, you could definitely move around a lot. So that was pretty intriguing to find out, especially with this package we have, but at a place like Kentucky. But yeah, very interesting race, but I do got to thank my pit crew for winning me the race off pit road in that last set of stops, because
that was my next question.
All those yellows, I was blown away by all the yellows we were having. I mean, we did fine the first half of the race, and then after that it was a mess.
Had 2 cautions for the first, I think, 80 laps, and then wound up with 10 overall.
Yeah, I mean that's not great for compared to the race we had at the first half. I mean, almost 30 laps, almost green.
Well,
almost
in defense, though, there were Gael 2 or 3 of them that were net code.
Yeah, there's a couple netcode incidents, but yeah, there's the aggression definitely ramped up that second half though.
But yeah, that's when you come down to the end of these races, especially in the second half, it's like all or nothing. Because I mean, if you were faster than someone in the first half, they would just let you go because that's what Gilliland. Like when I was faster than Gilliland on the first run, he let me go because I was faster than him. But when it gets to the second half, then it's everyone's just hard racing. And I think that's what leads to that, especially with this package where you can just be so aggressive, the car is stuck to the ground, and just so much downforce, so you can go so fast through the corner. That's just everyone trying to get after it because I feel like once you were to clear someone after 2 or 3 laps, they weren't going to get back by you because the tires are so worn. That's probably why I was able to hang on that green white checker compared if we were on new tires, then yeah, we'd have a hard race. But just the dirty air came into effect, and then the old tires with me out front, no one was able to really get by me because the dirty air effect.
Well, you ran a great race, Daniel, and pulled off your 6th win of the night, as I said earlier. So, do you have anybody out there you want to thank again for the victory?
Absolutely. You're giving me practice to just thank everyone. But always got to thank First Rate Bay Lobster 207 for all they do. Also got to thank Cameron Colby for painting up this beautiful car. If you wanna get a custom paint of your own, then go to Colby's Eye Paints on Facebook. Also, thank you to everyone at Sim500 who runs the show, everyone who comes out and races each and every week. Also, like to give a special shout out to the Aftermath boys for letting me come in and race with them because they kind of needed help on restart. So I was gladly able to give them their help that they needed. So thank you to them. Also, got to thank you guys for putting on the broadcast, and thank you to everyone who watched, and thanks to friends, family who might have watched tonight as well.
Well, there you have it, folks. Daniel Falkingham for his 6th win in the series. That's going to boost his points up. I don't have an updated points just yet. They haven't loaded the results yet. But Falkingham brings it home for his 6th win of the year, and he's just going to push his lead out to a few more points there, guys.
Yeah, say it's say like you said, we got that big pretty much that big pot of money there that they're going to be going after there. So any bit you can gain here is going to go a long ways for these guys.
Oh yeah, definitely. And speaking of that big pot of money, this win tonight is going to help him big time. That's going to push him up ahead of Nick Cohan there. Mitch Rollo is going to jump up in there also, by the way, a little bit, coming home in 2nd. So those two, see, Cohan, Falkingham, and Rollo were in the top 4 to begin with. Chad Cole was top 4, but I've got a feeling that might change after tonight for that English Auto Dash for Cash segment. So we're going to cover that next week, folks. Speaking of next week, New Hampshire. They're going to be up in New Hampshire, racing up there in the northeastern part of the country. Sorry, I couldn't resist. It's a flat track, so it's like I like to call it ginormous Martinsville. There's zero banking there. I don't think it's like 3 degrees guy on the corners.
Yep, I say this one will be. I say it's a speedway but a short track, and a lot can happen there. And say just the way this racing is with these flat tracks, it usually puts on a show.
You know, I joke when I call it a giant Martinsville, but I swear to you, I've got the replay somewhere. I know a guy way back when iRacing first came out. I want to say it was 2009 maybe. It might have been 2010. But he took a Martinsville setup, changed the gearing for New Hampshire, and won with that freaking setup. I joke not. It was crazy.
Well, there you go. You've got your Martinsville setup ready. Or
that's right. Your New Hampshire.
And, yeah.
I'm gonna have to talk to Joey and see if maybe they can like fly somebody a lobster for winning this race like they do in real life. But that'd be awesome, don't you think?
That'd be one way I say. I have to figure out how to do a cold ship of it though.
Oh yeah, put it on dry ice, man. Well, folks, we're gonna wrap this up real quick. Just a few more points on the race tonight. We covered it earlier. 136 laps, 10 cautions for 39 caution laps, and only 4 lead changes. Kind of disappointing, but you heard it from most of these drivers. This was really a one-groove track, and that groove was smack in the middle pretty much there, Gael. Unlike when we saw it at Kansas and Charlotte with 37, 39 passes for the lead, a lot of back and forth. But this track is so bumpy and so restricted, I guess, for lack of a better word, that there just wasn't an opportunity for a whole lot of passing. Once you got a car out front with a good clean air on the nose, it was just really hard to get by them.
Yeah, I think what really hurt at the end, especially for the lead, was just the fact that like he mentioned, you couldn't do with the older tires. You couldn't do what you could with brand new tires, where maybe they could have pushed a little bit more on the bottom or whatever it may be. And of course, there wasn't the long run to spread them out and let those that could take care of their tires that little bit better make those runs. So There's still a lot happening on that one, but yeah, say up front though, it's like I said, it's a tough one to pass over here.
So the next few races are pretty exciting. I'm really looking forward to them. We've got New Hampshire next week. Well, I don't care for that one to be honest with you. I'm not a fan of that track, but it's got to be done, right? But after that, we got Pocono, Watkins Glen, Michigan, and Bristol and Darlington. I mean, we got some great racing coming up, folks. My whole point for that is make sure you stop by and find us either on Facebook, Twitch, or YouTube, and give us a like and a follow. You'll be notified of when to follow us and watch us. And from what I understand, producer Aaron was telling me that some of the guys watching the broadcast tonight, maybe even girls, you never know, were asking about how to join Sim500. Well, here's how you do it. You go to sim500.com and you read the rules. You read over everything. I don't know if there's any registration open right now. I'm not entirely certain about that. But you can drop a line. You can contact the admins there and see what they've got available for you. And there's a free series that runs on midnights that you can jump in and run with us and see if you like it. You're going to find that these guys are fun to be around for the most part. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. And, it's a good time all the way around. So, head on over to sim500.com and check it out, read the rules, and maybe contact Joey or somebody over there and see what they got available for you. Like I said, folks, next week we're going to be over at New Hampshire. It's going to be a fun one. It's going to be let's see here. It's the New Hampshire 150, 150 laps. That's a 1 mile track, so 150 miles. And it's going to be exciting. Don't forget, though, Wednesday night this week, the WCITruckparts.com truck series heads also to Kentucky. You'll see me out there on track with some of the same guys you watched tonight. So for Gael Brooks, Gael, you got any final thoughts there, bud?
I just want to thank you guys for letting me join you again tonight. I had a blast, and say always good to catch these guys racing with them. I get to do the Friday nights and race with them there, but always enjoy being able to broadcast with you up here on Mondays and Sundays and Wednesdays occasionally.
Well, it was a pleasure having you up here, and as usual, Aaron gave us a great show down there in the booth. Thank you so much, Aaron, for the work you do. And we're going to wrap it up, folks, from here in Kentucky Speedway in the beautiful state of Kentucky. Myself, John Mushin Jr., Gael Brooks, Aaron down in the van. We thank each and every one of you for tuning in. We'll see you next week. And remember, when you're out on those roads, please put your phones down. Texting and driving usually only results in bad things happening. What you're texting can wait until you get to your destination. So put them down. Live longer. Remember, smile often, love each other, and God bless each and every one of you. We'll see you next week. John Mushin out.